Baseball Night in America takes us to the south side of Chicago for Game 2 of this three-game series between a pair of American League division leaders. The Houston Astros and the Chicago White Sox square off tonight. It was a 7-1 Astros opener on Friday night here at Guaranteed Rate Field. These two teams feature two of the top 5 records in all of Major League Baseball, but the Astros have dominated the season series against Chicago thus far. Walking inside the broadcast booth, Adam Amin, A.J. Pierzinski. Let's talk about this season series. It's been dominated by Houston. In fact, the last 4 years, the Astros have had the better of this matchup.
Well, this has been complete ownage by the Houston Astros on the Chicago White Sox. Any number we throw up on the screen, you'll see that the Astros have dominated the White Sox this year. 5 wins. The average is unbelievably better. The runs, the ERA, and the biggest number, reliever ERA for the Astros is 0. They've struggled a little bit there, but against the White Sox, the relievers for the Astros have been lights out. It's incredible because people said, hey, these are the two of the best teams. This could potentially be a playoff matchup, and if you're the White Sox, you've got to win these last 2 games against the Astros to try to get a little confidence. People say it doesn't matter when you get to postseason, it's a new season. Yeah, guess what? It does matter as a player. You want to know you can beat these guys, and the worst thing for the White Sox, their best starters have gotten beaten up by the Astros offense. So today is a huge game for the Chicago White Sox.
Yeah, Lucas Giolito will get the ball, but you talked about confidence, swagger, right, for this young White Sox team. Nobody embodies that more so than their first-time All-Star at shortstop, Tim Anderson. He's on a tear right now.
You want to talk about the swaggiest guy in baseball? He's right there. Fernando Tatis, Tim Anderson, a couple other guys. But this guy, he is the engine for the Chicago White Sox. He needs to get on base early. He needs to score for them, give them confidence against the Astros, the team that's beat them up. If he does that, the White Sox will be in a much better place. But this guy can hit, and he is electric when he is on the field.
Baseball Night in America and Topps Project 70 have teamed up this year for an exclusive collaboration. You'll get a look at it as we go to break. It'll be the Astros and their red-hot offense taking on Lucas Giolito, Tim Anderson, Jose Abreu, and the Chicago White Sox. Baseball Night in America on Fox is next. We'll get a look at the Houston offense, the #1 run-scoring offense in all of Major League Baseball. Top 8 in Major League Baseball in home runs. A very tough out. One of the longer at-bats through an entirety of a lineup that you're going to have to go through as a starting pitcher.
They are tough on a pitcher. They do not strike out. They put the ball in play, and they keep the pressure on every pitcher they faced all year.
Rain delay out on the East Coast between the Yankees and Red Sox. We welcome you to Chicago as the Houston Astros and the White Sox get set to go for Game 2 of this 3-game set. And it's Lucas Giolito getting the ball for the Sox. He'll take on that high-powered, prolific Astros offense, which put up 7 runs and 10 hits last night. Altuve, Brantley, Gurriel, Alvarez, Correa, Tucker, Toro, Castro, and Miles Straw, the high-contact speedster, rounds it out. And Lucas Giolito will take the ball at home for the first time since June the 29th.
Lucas Giolito, a former All-Star. A little bit of a struggle this year for him. See his pitch usage, 4-seam fastball. He pitches mostly up with that. His changeup is his best secondary pitch. And if he can throw his slider and curveball over, nobody has done much against it this year. And that's the key for Lucas. Can he get the Astros to swing at balls that are not strikes?
Jose Altuve will lead things off, and away we go from Chicago with ball 1. Altuve 1 for 5 with an infield single in the opener, sitting currently at 1,699 career hits, 4th all-time in Astros history. Upstairs, and it's quickly 2-0. We talked about it. This is an Astros team that really works at bats. Dylan Cease got the start for the White Sox last night. Struck out 10, but only lasted 5 2/3 innings because a lot of Astros went deep in counts. Altuve tries to rip a 2-0 pitch and lifts it towards foul territory for Moncada. And there's one away. White Sox defense has had some issues over the course of the year this season. A lot of shifting in the outfield, a lot of personnel used in these 3 spots, but right now it's the rookie Vaughn, Goodwin, and another rookie in Gavin Sheets making his 5th career start at right field. Moncada, the All-Star Anderson, Leury Garcia has been locked at second base for the last handful of games. The MVP Abreu and Zach Collins with Yasmani Grandal on the shelf, getting another start behind the plate. 1 away for Michael Brantley. One of the top hitters in all of baseball once again takes a strike.
Not a prettier swing in all of baseball, Adam, than Michael Brantley's. Just smooth, never out of control, almost never seems like he's fooled on any pitch you throw him. Kills changeups. Lucas Giolito's best off speed is a changeup.
Brantley and Gurriel in the 2 and 3 spots are 2 of the best 2-strike hitters in the game, and they're 2 of the best changeup hitters in this Astros lineup. Giolito has been heavily reliant, as per usual, on that changeup. Home of the 1-1 to Brantley. Brantley has hit Giolito very well. He's seen him for 10 at-bats, has 5 hits against him, including a couple of home runs, and has never been struck out by Giolito.
Well, that's because he handles the changeup well. He doesn't swing out of the zone. He won't chase Giolito's high fastball.
2-1 is in there for a strike.
Adam, I think what you said about last night in the Astros offense, they put long at-bats on you. Altuve, the first guy, got 2-0, swung at kind of a borderline pitch, got him to pop up, but here Brantley 2-2 hasn't even swung at the bat yet, right?
Nope, on his shoulder.
So not only do they get to 2 strikes, but they're not afraid to hit with 2 strikes.
Speaking of which, Brantley down the right field line, dumps one into the corner, looking for extra bases. Sheets with some issues in the corner, and Brantley will have a 1-out 2-bagger. Professional hitter. When we asked Lucas Giolito, what are your thoughts on facing Brantley again? Those were his words.
Well, we mentioned how well he hits changeups. Look how under control he is. He's a little bit out in front, but he is so smooth. Everything is back, hands back, hardly any stride. Just takes this ball, places it down the right field line for a 1-out double for the Astros.
Brantley hitting at a career-high rate. Only Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has a better average in the American League this year. And a man in scoring position for Yuli Gurriel, who had a very productive game in the opener and has pounded White Sox pitching in his young career.
Those are pretty good numbers against one team. Over 400, over 1,100 OPS. Be careful here, Lucas Giolito, because if you throw him an off-speed pitch in the zone, it could get hammered.
There's a strike, and it's 1-1. 37-year-old Yuli Gurriel, longtime pro, and his 20-plus games against the White Sox has hit him hard. Great start to the year, really solid month of June. A little bit slow to start July, but had a big game on Friday. And he lifts a high pitch in the zone to left. Vaughn waiting for out number 2. Brantley will stay at second base. That'll bring up Yordan Alvarez. See his numbers with runners in scoring position. He comes up in a good spot right now, an RBI producer in these spots all season, including a game-winning RBI in Houston against the White Sox back in mid-June.
And I'd be surprised if Giolito gives him anything too good to hit here, Adam. He kills fastballs. I would expect Giolito with Correa, who's 1 for 7 off of Giolito. I know it's only the first inning, but be very careful here to Yordan Alvarez, because he can get one swing on a fastball and make this 2-0 for the Astros really quick.
Facing the shift as he takes the off-speed pitch for a strike. So Alvarez last night, he and Correa back-to-back in the order. They go a combined 0 for 10 with 6 strikeouts. But between the two of them, they saw 58 pitches. Lifts a fly ball into shallow left. And a good job by Giolito to work around the Brantley double. Leaves a man in scoring position, and the Sox are coming up against Odorizzi. the All-Star out of the gate. One of the more aggressive swingers in all of Major League Baseball is at the top of this White Sox order, which, despite not hitting a lot of home runs, second to last in the American League, still is top 5 in all of baseball in producing runs, just over 5 per game, with this lineup dealing with a lot of injury and a lot of holes, but trying to fill them with some younger players towards the bottom of the order. A lot of those younger guys. We'll get a look at a veteran in Jake Odorizzi, who had a rough and slow start to the season and has been rock solid his last 5 or 6 outings.
Well, since he came off the IL, he has been really good. 2.29 ERA. Relies on a high fastball, and split is his pitch.
See how aggressive Anderson is. He'll take one on a fastball outside. That's the pitch he leans on a ton.
Well, you see the four-seam fastball. He likes to throw that up in the zone. The splitter is the one. Nobody really hits his slider or his curveball. His cutter's been getting hit, but look for him to throw high fastballs and a split off of it.
Anderson lays off on a couple of heaters, and it's quickly 2-0 on Tim, who is riding a 13-game season-long hit streak, hitting nearly 400 during that stretch. Power numbers not necessarily there for a while, but that's not what he's focused on. He's trying to get on base and score some runs. He'll take a strike.
And a 2-0 cutter there from Odorizzi after 2 fastballs. Anderson is one of the most aggressive guys in all of baseball. He swings and swings a lot. So for him to take the first 2, you knew 2-0, if he got a good one, he was going to let it go. So good pitch there by Odorizzi.
2-1 is lifted deep to right field. Ranging back, Kyle Tucker all the way to the warning track, and he'll flag it down. This is an exceptional Houston defense, and they're better now that they're a little healthier. They're still missing Alex Bregman, but one of the top ranked defenses in a ton of different metrics around the league. Brantley, Straw, and Tucker, a lot of good arms in the outfield. Straw and Tucker have 7 outfield assists combined. No Alex Bregman at third still, as he's going to get set for a rehab assignment soon. So Abraham Toro's filled in nicely with Correa and Altuve. Gurriel and Jason Castro makes the start tonight for Odorizzi on the bump. Who will now face Yoan Moncada. Facing the shift, the switch hitter batting left-handed is ahead of the count. So last night, first pitch that Tim Anderson sees, he rips a triple. The next pitch that was thrown by Lance McCullers Jr. was ripped for an RBI double by Moncada. They had 2 hits on the first 2 pitches of the night. After that, they had 1 hit for the final 122 pitches of the game. McCullers and the bullpen absolutely shut down the White Sox offense.
It's a beautiful game. Baseball, Adam. You just never know. After those first 2 pitches, the White Sox were thinking, all right, we had 4 days off.
Start. Yep.
The Astros have owned us, and boom, here we go. We're up 1-0, and then nothing for the rest of the game.
2-2 on Moncada. Odorizzi, 31 years of age, back in his home state. He's from Highland, Illinois, which is southern Illinois, more St. Louis country, about 30 minutes east of the city of St. Louis. There's a 2-2. And there's one of those elevated fastballs that gets ripped foul by Moncada. This is a lineup that has seen a lot of Odorizzi, former Minnesota Twin over the course of a few seasons. So this is career start number 12 for Jake against the White Sox, and he has pitched well. 3.15 ERA in his career. Another 2-2. Floats outside to run the count full.
This is the one thing Moncada has been great at this year.
Yep.
Working the count, getting on base, over a 400 on base percentage, second in the league. He has worked the count. He is really, even though he still strikes out a lot, he sees more pitches now, and he does take his walks, which in the past he would not do.
Payoff delivery, fouled away. Moncada leads Major League Baseball in pitches per plate appearance, 4.4 per PA. And a guy who's been moved up into the number 2 spot as of late. The number 2 spot of the White Sox lineup has been kind of a revolving door and a little bit of a black hole at times offensively. Moncada spent most of the year hitting in the heart of the order, 3-4-5. This is his 7th straight in the 2-hole. And he puts a 3-2 pitch on the ground. Plenty of time for Toro in the shift. 2 up and 2 down against Odorizzi.
Really nice pitch here by Odorizzi. 3-2, a few change-up splitters in a row to Moncada, and then he throws 4-seamer in and just jams him. Gets in on him, Moncada tries to get his hands inside, but he hits it right into the shift to the third baseman, even though Adam, he was standing right where the shortstop would
right?
be.
Well, the Astros shift more than any other team in the American League. So the White Sox will see plenty of it today. Even defense on the infield for the spray-hitting Jose Abreu. And he'll lift one foul. Abreu 0 for 4 in the opener of the series, but he's off to a good start in the month of July. Abreu, the former and reigning MVP, sitting at 213 career home runs. The next one he hits will tie the great Carlton Fisk for 4th all-time in White Sox history. Here's an 0-1. 0-2. We've seen a lot of Odorizzi. 357 over 28 at-bats against Jake. Has struck out 8 times, but has a home run. Odorizzi trying to finish off a perfect opening frame. And an 0-2. Punched on the ground to Correa. He'll lead off the Astros second after a 1-2-3. Odorizzi first. Love the exploding scoreboard here at Guaranteed Rate Field.
Remember when those were real
when
pinwheels?
they were real pinwheels before in old Comiskey. Carlos Correa will climb in to lead things off in the Astros second. You see where he ranks among American League shortstops, in a little bit of a funk right now as Giolito deals low and away. So Carlos Correa had a little bit of an illness scare before the All-Star break. So went to the COVID IL, was not COVID after tests and all of that, but he was dealing with an illness. That was announced a day after he said he was going to opt out of the All-Star game to be with his now pregnant wife Daniela. So congratulations to the Correa family. The series prior to the Yankees series where he had to sit out, he went 0 for 11 against the A's. He flies one out to Goodwin in center. It's 0 for his last 17 for Correa. Well, today's telecast is sponsored by Lincoln and by Verizon. 5G built right. We love the tailgating scene at Guaranteed Rate Field, but I love the fans here too for specific reasons.
I'm wearing this because I lost the bet.
Seems about right, sir.
I feel like he won a bet having to wear that jersey. That guy right there, he's a liar on TV. Whatever your name is, sir, I need to find you because you are a liar.
I do love the old school, though, the 1980s Sox jersey with Pierzinski on the back there.
That logo is one of the best.
Here's Kyle Tucker going after the first elevated fastball from Giolito.
If that guy's listening, or someone in his family is listening,
let him know.
No, have him get a hold. There's Harold Baines, Hall of Famer. There's another one of those great jerseys. But get a hold of Adam Amin on his Instagram or his Twitter. I want to find you because we got to connect. I'll sign that jersey for you.
Here's an 0-1 to Kyle Tucker, and he waves through another good off-speed pitch. Giolito leans on the changeup in big spots, in 2 strike counts, in spots with runners in scoring position. If A.J. was behind the plate, I imagine he would feel comfortable throwing down a changeup single just about at any count for Giolito.
Dude, a lot of people lost bets tonight, apparently.
Apparently, there's a ton of bet losers here.
Giolito looks really sharp so far. I know Brantley hit the double, but his changeup has been down. His fastball has been put in good locations. Even when he's been behind in the count and people know fastball's coming, like to Altuve leading off the game. But Giolito looks sharp. He knows the history this year of not only himself, but also the White Sox against the Astros. He wants to go out there and get the first win for the White Sox, get them some confidence against this team.
His 0-2 to Tucker is laid on. He was the only starter in what has been a very healthy and consistent rotation for the White Sox this year that did not see the Astros in a 4-game Astros sweep in Houston about a month ago. So he was actually fired up when we got a chance to talk with him about facing the league's top offense.
Oh, he was rip-roaring ready to go.
Another 2-strike offering to Tucker, who tried to hold back, but the home plate umpire Brian Knight says that he went around, and there is the first Giolito strikeout of the night.
Really nice curveball here by Lucas Giolito. There's the grip, 12-6, straight down. As a hitter, you're thinking, okay, this guy Giolito throws high fastballs and changeups. Then when all of a sudden you see that come out of his hand, it's not only the break, the speed difference, and the surprise part, right? Because you're not expecting that. You can cover maybe fastball, changeup. It's the third pitch that's the key for Lucas.
Part of the top strikeout rotation in baseball, gets his first tonight, and now deals with Abraham Toro. Switch hitter batting lefty. Filled in nicely with the glove at third base for the injured Alex Bregman, who continues to deal with a quad issue. Toro lifts one to center field for Goodwin. A 1-2-3 second inning work by Giolito, and the Sox come back up against Odorizzi in the bottom half. We're in Chicago for Baseball Night in America. Play Ball is baseball and softball's initiative to highlight the fun and accessible ways to play the game for everybody. You can find a league near you. Go to playball.org and follow Play Ball on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I respect you kids being locked into the snacks, especially the old school classic ice cream sandwich. Brian Goodwin's been the cleanup man for the last handful of games. In fact, this is his 9th straight role in the cleanup spot. Guy made his debut with a bang a couple of months ago almost with the White Sox against the Tigers, and has had to fill a lot of different spots in the outfield with all the injuries. Quickly behind 0-2.
Well, he's hitting cleanup because his power this year has been really good. Almost slugging 500. And his protection is left-handed behind Abreu for the White Sox while the injuries.
And he beats the shift. Going the other way, Brian Goodwin with a knock. He's hit Odorizzi well in his limited duty. Now 4 for 6 against Jake all time. And a 2-strike hit for the White Sox, who are also a good 2-strike hitting team.
This is what you're supposed to do with 2 strikes. Stay on the ball. Put it in play. Just slices that to left field. That is the perfect 2-strike swing by Goodwin.
Garcia.
He can smile.
Yeah, he's feeling that one, rightfully so.
0-2 base hit. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, he had some struggles with 2 strikes last night. He went 0 for 4 with the old golden sombrero for Goodwin last night. 4 Ks, and a good start to his night tonight as he's aboard for Leury Garcia. The injury that probably gets a little bit less of the headlines for the White Sox. They're missing Grandal, they're missing Robert and Jimenez, but Nick Madrigal, a very important piece to this White Sox team, as a high contact hitter who hits well with 2 strikes and plays a very good second base. Garcia is one of a few guys who has had to fill in at second with Madrigal's injury last month. Good stop by Castro behind the plate. That'll keep Brian Goodwin at first. 2-0 the count.
Madrigal was a huge part of this offense. He hit 9th early. They moved him up to the 2-hole because of his contact rate, like you said, Adam. And what a tough at bat with 2 strikes. That dude, man, he would just go up there and put the bat on the ball. And I mean, he was hitting over 300 with 2 strikes, which is incredible at the major league level.
He was leading Major League Baseball with 2-strike hitting. Shift is on for Garcia. Switch hitter batting lefty will take a little emergency hack there and foul it away.
Well, that's not what you want to see. 2-0 by. I know it's Leury Garcia, right? But I call him Leroy. We played together in 2013.
I remember you calling him Leroy.
So I always call him Leroy, and I'd say it to him. He knows when he sees me. But what a good pitch by Odorizzi right there. 2-0. He throws the elevated fastball, ties up Garcia. I joked with him before the game. He had to cut off like tank top on with his guns out. I said, man, you're hitting 5th in a first place team. He's like, you know.
Well, he's been key with all the guys in front of him that have gotten on base at a pretty decent clip. He's been one of the better hitters in this lineup with runners in scoring position on base. He's 5 for 9 against Odorizzi, going back to his Twins days. That went inside, and a high leverage count at 3-1 for Garcia. Went 0 for 3 in the opener on Friday, but had hits in each of his 4 games prior to that. He hit below Andrew Vaughn last night. Vaughn was in the 5 spot. Garcia hit 6. They flip-flopped tonight with, as you mentioned, a little ladder protection in the top 4.
Well, that's also because Garcia hits righties better than Vaughn does.
Vaughn way better against left-handed pitching. A good at-bat work by Garcia, and the first 2 men in the second for the Sox have reached against Odorizzi. That's a rare walk for Odorizzi. He has pitched 48 1/3 innings this year, and he's only allowed 36 hits and now 13 walks. So that whip, walks and hits per innings pitched, right about at 1. If you're at 1, that is, to be honest, at this point in the game, in the modern era, that's an elite level of starting pitching at that point.
Well, if you're under 1 or around 1, like you said, that is the magic number. That's when you know, yes, you're an elite guy.
At least your play at that point has been elite.
Absolutely. And if you look at DeGrom, like a guy like Jacob DeGrom, his is so low it's crazy, right?
Everything for him, though, is kind of historic at this point.
But that's a big number for guys and teams. They say whip because that means you don't have base runners.
Exactly. No traffic.
And the other thing Odorizzi's really great at is he doesn't allow home runs.
Only 5 in almost 50 innings this year. Vaughn's got 10 of them this season as a rookie. He lifts a 1-0 pitch deep to right center field, but it is playable. Miles Straw, the center fielder, over. Goodwin and Garcia both tagging. The throw to second base, though, is the right one. Altuve applies the tag on Garcia. Goodwin is safe at third, but it ends up as a double play. And Miles Straw has put together an exceptional defensive year. That's 5 outfield assists for Straw.
That is an absolutely huge out for Odorizzi and the Astros, and terrible base running by Garcia.
Yep.
The thing is, if you're the backside runner, you see this, you're like, okay, tag up. He goes back to tag up, right thing. But as soon as you see this throw is on line, you've got to stop and get back to first. He continues, the throw is right on line, and he is an easy out for the Astros and Miles Straw. You've got to stop and go back. As soon as that throw is on line, someone even looks like it's close, you've got to stop and go back.
Here is Gavin Sheets, another rookie. Big spot for Sheets, who takes a strike, playing his 14th major league game. 0 for 2 with a walk in the opener. 25 years old from Baltimore, got to be back home for a series at the end of the first half. Driven in 9 in 13 games thus far, looking for another with Goodwin at third. Confidence with Castro behind the plate to throw one in the dirt. Goodwin back to the bag.
What a stop by Jason Castro. This will go unnoticed in the box score and everything else, but if the White Sox do not score, watch this stop. That ball bounces way in front of home plate. He does everything perfect. Slides over, and Goodwin had a huge lead at third base because of the shift. So he's looking to go on anything. He's way down the line. Castro knocks it down. If the ball gets outside the dirt, he's going to score easily. So great job by Jason Castro.
It's a 1-1 to Sheets. Another one floats outside.
When you see the way Odorizzi attacks Sheets, he's struggled with off speed, breaking balls in particular. He hasn't got a hit all year off breaking balls. So the Astros know that. Jason Castro's a veteran guy. He knows that. We've seen 2 curveballs in a split so far to attack Sheets with the runner on third.
Sheets 1 for his last 12 with some strikeouts. A lot of those coming on off speed. There's one in the dirt. And the count 3-1. Talked to Tony La Russa about Gavin Sheets, and give me a little bit of a profile. He says his come up featured him being very aggressive early in counts, which again, it's a small major league sample, so you may not see that just yet. But a guy who shortens up well as he gets deeper into counts. Big lead for Goodwin off the bag at third. Sheets punches it on the ground to Toro, and that'll do it for the White Sox. In the second, they threaten. They get Goodwin to third, but the inning is over. Straw and Castro, good defense in that frame. You went in Oxford.
Ooh.
That's what I should. This three-game series, couple of division leaders in the Astros in the West and the White Sox in the Central in the American League. Jason Castro and Miles Straw made some good defensive plays for Houston. They'll start this inning off. Castro first against Lucas Giolito. And his starting rotation mate is kind enough to join us from the dugout, Lance Lynn, who just today, it was announced, signed an extension with the Chicago White Sox, and well-deserved after leading the American League in ERA in the first half of the year. Lance, just give me a sense of this rotation. It's been one of the more healthy and consistent rotations. You got Lucas on the mound tonight. Put on your analyst hat. Talk to me about Giolito and the rest of the guys.
Oh man, we got a deep staff here, and you look at, we've got some young guys and we've got some older guys, and it's always fun. And you're looking at Giolito the last 2 years really come in, you know, a top 10 Cy Young guy, great changeup, elevated fastball. He's really, you know, taking it to the next level. So it's fun to watch him work. And we saw Cease throw the ball last night and spin it with the best of them. So it's fun to watch these guys.
Forget the analyst hat. Where are you taking me to celebrate? I feel like, you know, we're in Chicago. The weather's beautiful, Lance. Like, I mean, I feel like you owe me at least a dinner.
I do. You had some good fingers for me back in the St. Louis days. So wherever you want to go, we'll go. We'll go get some steak.
It was a very low ERA, Lance. We had to show it last time.
That's right.
And it's one of the better ERAs you've had with a catcher. It was Pierzinski.
We had one hell of a run there. That's for sure.
I mean, those 2 months were amazing. Let me tell you.
a lot of number ones put down, and we were just getting after it.
Hey, I'm glad Kenny. You know, I called Kenny Williams before the season started and told him that he should sign you to an extension before you threw a pitch. So thanks for making me look good. I appreciate it.
That's what I'm here for. That's all I'm here for.
2 balls and 2 strikes to count on Jason Castro. Is it weird middle of the year? Like, is it a long process to kind of work through that? Do you even have to be fully involved in it, or do your people, did they take care of that more and you can kind of focus on the field?
I think it went quicker because I was involved. Wanted to be here, enjoy it here, so it was an easy process, really.
Lance Lynn joining us from the dugout as Castro strikes out against Giolito. 1 away in the third. You see the numbers improvement for Lance Lynn over the years.
Well, Lance, I'm happy for you. Obviously, you love the city of Chicago. The contract looks good for not only yourself, your family, but it also makes the White Sox, right? They traded a few guys for you to get you here after the year in Texas last year. You're here for a while. What can you explain to the fans? I know it came together quickly. Just how it works as a player. Like, they approached you. They said, "Hey, we want to keep you here." Can you expound on that just a little bit for us?
A little insight if you have some.
Yeah, Rick was like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" You know, I'm a veteran guy, so he wasn't worried about talking in the middle of the season. And you know, these things go fast when you're in the same ballpark when the first numbers come out, and we were. And then you look at the break we had with the All-Star break, so we were able to talk a little bit. And it was a kind of an easy back and forth for about 24 hours. And next thing we know, we were right where we needed to be. And now we can just worry about the second half and go do it. And you know, if it didn't come together, then it was something that we could have kicked down the line, you know, at the end of the season or in the end of the off season. But we were so close right away that it was such an easy fit. And I enjoy it here, and I enjoy this team and what we have going forward here. So I'm really excited about being here.
0-2 on Miles Straw with 1 away in the third. Lance, obviously this is a series that a lot of people will circle because the Astros come in. You guys both are in first place. It starts off the second half. What makes this team difficult to deal with? You've obviously seen a lot of them over the years while you were in Texas as well.
Yeah, you look at their lineup from top to bottom. Everybody covers the fastball well. If you make mistakes in the middle of the plate with your breaking balls, they put good swings on it. And they're all, you know, all of them are playoff tested. So when you look at that lineup and what they've been doing, you're not surprised with their record. And they've done it in the postseason for, you know, a few years now. And pitching wise, they're coming along. So you knew that they were going to be a team that we're going to have to deal with in the AL. And it's good for you know, us White Sox here. We've got some young guys to play these guys, get a little taste of them. So when we come to October, we know what to expect.
Lance, we talked about it in the open today, and I said they're 5-0 against you guys this year. Is it important for you guys to win at least one of these 2 games here to prove, hey, we can beat them? Because nobody, I know everyone says different season in the postseason, doesn't matter, but there's got to be a little bit of inside of you guys that says, hey, we got to at least prove to them that we can beat them.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it, you know, you say the regular season doesn't matter once you get to the postseason, but it would be nice to, you know, get one and make sure you don't get a season sweep of them. But the good thing is we get an idea of what they're all about, especially these guys that haven't been in high pressure situations in their career yet.
Well, Lance Lynn kind enough to join us from the dugout, fresh off a contract extension. It's been an exceptional first half for Lance, and we appreciate the time. Best of luck in the second half, man.
Hey, thanks for having me. AJ, where are we going tonight?
Congrats. I'll text you.
See ya.
Hey, congrats, buddy.
You and Lance Lynn got that short amount of time, but a very lucrative amount of time in St. Louis together. Former Texas Ranger, now with the White Sox. He'll be here for at least 2 more years with a club option for the 3rd in that extension. You heard the boos for Altuve, who lays off a good Giolito off-speed pitch for a strike. This is one of those battle-tested veteran guys who hits the fastball very well, just to Lance's scouting report.
Or just hits everything.
Hits everything.
Altuve hits everything.
Especially as of late. He was swung out of his shoes for that fastball there, though. And this crowd's going to get up for an 0-2 count.
Nobody can hit 96 at your neck, and Jose Altuve just tried to. I mean, this ball is head high. Not even the great Jose Altuve can get on top of that one.
Chance for a perfect inning for Giolito in the 3rd. And Altuve reaches out and pokes it into center for Goodwin. 10 batters face, just the Brantley double against Giolito thus far. Scoreless game. Dusty Baker and Tony La Russa have seen a lot of one another, but with the 5 wins this year for the Astros, Dusty now has the all-time head-to-head lead over Tony La Russa, 104-102 entering action tonight. They have seen a ton of each other over the years. And Dusty with the slight advantage. Neither team has taken an advantage thus far in this one. Home half of the 3rd with Jake Berger, another rookie, at the plate for the White Sox against Jake Odorizzi.
Is that number against La Russa, is that what gets Dusty into the Hall of Fame?
I feel like it's inevitable, right? Top 12 all time.
I mean, we know that La Russa obviously is already in the Hall of Fame, but Dusty deserves to be there. There's one knock is he doesn't have that World Series, but leading the different teams to the postseason, what he's done in Houston, the way he's one of my favorite guys to talk to. He always has been. Dusty, he shoots you straight. He was a player, so he gets it. He just, I mean, perfect guy after all the things with the trash can in Houston. Come in here, right the ship, get them back to where they thought they should have been.
1-2 on Berger, and he stays alive. There's Tony La Russa on the other side, 2nd most wins in Major League Baseball history. Hit that mark in early June, passing the great John McGraw. Of course, Connie Mack with over 3,700 wins. Tony La Russa was asked about that number that Connie Mack holds. He said that's beyond sacred. It's unattainable. Number 2 is not a bad spot to be. 2-2 on Jake Berger, the number 11 pick 4 years ago of the White Sox. 8 hits in 8 games thus far. He's had a couple of doubles and a triple. Still seeking that first Major League home run. There's a 2-2. And got him with the high fastball as Odorizzi often leans on. Elevated way out of the zone for his first K.
Odorizzi, high fastball. This one's higher than he even probably wanted it, but a young guy, Jake Berger, goes up there. Never seen Odorizzi. Gets him to chase.
Well, for those of you who tuned in to watch the Yankees and the Red Sox, a little bit of a delay to start, but they're getting closer and closer to first pitch. We'll send you out to New York if that is your game tonight. There's the 9-hitter Zach Collins. Of course, Garrett Cole going for the Yankees tonight against Nathan Eovaldi, and Cole put together one of the best pitching performances in all of Major League Baseball this year 1 week ago tonight in Houston, as he put together a 129 pitch complete game shutout. Zach Collins puts a charge into one the other way. Deep drive to the wall and gone. 4th of the year for Collins, and just like the previous 3, it gives the White Sox a lead.
Collins with the great swing to go oppo off Odorizzi. We mentioned he hasn't given up many home runs, but Collins gets a splitter here, 1-0, and just smashes it into left center. Just gets over the wall. Really nice swing for the young catcher.
All 4 of his home runs this year have come in a tie game to give the White Sox the lead. And that's the case here in the bottom of the 3rd, and it turns it over to Tim Anderson. And the aggressive swinger goes the other way. Could it be back-to-back? It is! Anderson goes yard, 2-0. First home run for Anderson in 140-plus plate appearances.
And off the top of the wall to boot. Another opposite field home run. And listen, it's summer in Chicago. The ball is flying. Odorizzi's like, you got to be kidding me. I just gave up 2 homers that went over the fence by a combined 2 inches.
On back-to-back pitches after he had allowed 5 all year coming into action tonight.
We could barely even discuss Zach Collins' swing. And then before we get it out, Tim Anderson goes bam, back-to-back.
2-0 on Moncada now. Collins first.
Collins gets a splitter up. Not a terrible pitch, but you see he barrels it, stays behind the ball, and the ball is flying. And it just creeps over the wall.
It's the second time the Sox have gone back-to-back this season. Moncada and Yermin Mercedes, who's been optioned to AAA in the last couple of weeks, they went back-to-back early in the year against the Royals. 3-0 on Moncada. And it's a 4-pitch walk. Well, Anderson followed up Collins' blast with an opposite field shot of his own.
He gets a breaking ball up. This ball's up. He barrels it. I don't think he thought he got it. He was hoping. He kind of watches it a little bit. But not normal. He thinks it's going to go. He starts running. I thought Tucker had a shot at this ball, and it hits the top of the wall and bounces into the bullpen. Tucker was about 5 feet faster. He's got a shot, but it just gets over the wall.
First one for Anderson since early June. Hadn't hit one since June the 3rd off Daniel Norris of the Tigers. Odorizzi, who has been going deeper and deeper as of late. His last couple of starts have been his longest of the year in terms of pitch counts. He's been trying to get his conditioning back after the slow start to the year after an injury-plagued season last year. And he said he was starting to get some of his conditioning in. Now it's a matter of executing a little bit better. And just that 2-pitch sequence, along with the walk to Moncada, a little bit rough.
Well, he hadn't given up a home run in 30-plus innings. And then on back-to-back pitches, he gives up 2. So
Xander Bogaerts was the last guy to hit one off of Odorizzi.
And then the 4-pitch walk. That's what's more surprising as a veteran guy.
Yeah.
The 4-pitch walk.
Here's Abreu. Well, the Sox, who were in a very good offensive stretch to start the month of July, scuffled on Friday night, but they've been in a decent stretch. The home run drought in the month of June really took its toll on this offense, and you see what the numbers are like. Now, granted, you're going to go around Major League Baseball and see similar numbers, but it really feels like the White Sox were home run heavy last year with their impact. Less so the case this season, especially in June.
Well, their home runs per game is way down. They're 14th in the league. This has always been a team, the White Sox, forever, that's been known as a bunch of guys that can hit home runs, power hitters. Frank Thomas, Paul Konerko, Jermaine Dye, Jim Thome, Jose Abreu. They were always known as bashers. Well, this year it's been a little bit different. They've been really good with runners in scoring position. But the home runs we saw when they go hit 2+, they're almost impossible to beat.
Wow, so the last now 9 pitches have really taken this outing off kilter. The back-to-back home runs and now 7 straight out of the zone.
So do you green light Abreu right here, Adam? 7 in a row. Back-to-back homers. He's probably going to get a fastball here, right?
I think so. That's the pitch that Odorizzi needs right now.
I mean, I'm thinking Tony La Russa green lights him here and see if he can make this 4-0 with one swing.
There's never any drama on 3-0 pitches in White Sox season. take all the way for a strike. 3-1.
Also be interested here if Tony La Russa sends Moncada. Trying to stay out of the double play. Jose Abreu has hit into a bunch of double plays in his career. So do you send Moncada here, try to open up another hole, stay out of the double play? Odorizzi's more of a contact pitcher. 3-1 count.
Three and two. You mentioned it. Abreu leading Major League Baseball, hitting into 13 double plays this year. He has led Major League Baseball each of the last 2 full seasons.
See, I'd send him here. I'd send Moncada here. You're counting on your veteran guy, your leader, Jose Abreu. Put the ball in play, or if it's not a strike, taking it for a ball 4. Plus, I talked to Tony La Russa before the game, asked him if he'd ever put a hit and run on, and he said, we do more of running and hitting, where we send the guy on first and let the guy behind him hit.
That's probably the case around baseball. Moncada at first, and a 3-2 coming to Abreu. In motion. Pitch is low, and it'll be ball 4. So after the strikeout to Berger to open the inning, home run, walk from Odorizzi.
So a close pitch by Odorizzi. Jason Castro thinks it's close enough to be a strike. He goes, and then he realizes ball 4, and he just bounces it off the mound. See, as a catcher, you're thinking, okay, it's close. He's going to call it a strike. I got to be ready to go to throw out Moncada, and then he realizes ball 4, and he bounced it off. The 2-hopped it down there to Altuve at second base. Robo-ump, see? Robo-umps. We talk about robo-umps. If there's a robo-ump behind home plate, you're not getting the call quick enough, you're going to see guys throw it away to center field. That guy, even though it might be, you know, ball 4, throw it into center field trying to throw the guy out because they don't know guy will be on third, where normally he just would have been on second like he was right there.
Here's Goodwin. That's something that you maybe don't think about. The Atlantic League, a league I used to work in probably about a decade ago, has become kind of a guinea pig league for Major League Baseball to implement some interesting rules, some changes. Robo-umps has been a feature this year. There have been a few videos that have circulated of really bad misfires for the technology. Granted, most of the time it's been okay, but there have been some major misfires, and that's another thing you don't think about. The human element for catchers who lean on an umpire to make a quick call so they know if they can eat a throw, they will. To second base, because you don't want to throw it wide to the left like Castro did a little bit off the mound there, and it skips into center, and now you got runners at second and third instead.
I would always tell the umpire 3-1, 3-2 if I thought the guy, hey, quick call here, just give me a quick call, give me a sound so I know if it's a ball or a strike, so I know whether or not to throw it.
2-0, and it's cute foul. 2-1.
So how quick do you have to make a decision if you're Jason Castro? Ball or strike? You heard ball, but it was too late, right? He was already letting it go. So, and then you saw the throw. Plus, he'll probably get a little ridiculing from his teammates after that one.
A little kangaroo court or something.
Yeah, but no harm, no foul. But still, like, you heard Brian Knight behind the plate say ball quick, but he had already gotten to the point where he was throwing it. That's when you say, hey, you know, Brian, give me the quickest call you can possibly give me.
Laborious third inning for Odorizzi. But he gets a swing and a miss from Goodwin to even the count at 2-2. Back-to-back walks following back-to-back home runs for the White Sox here in the third. A 2-0 lead and a 2-2 count with 2 on for Goodwin. Bouncing ball right side. Altuve over. Has time to get the force on Abreu. On to third base goes Moncada, the fielder's choice, and there are 2 down with Garcia coming up. Key second out, and Abreu back to the White Sox dugout.
Nice comeback there by Odorizzi.
Yeah.
Back-to-back walks, 2-0 count. Right there to Goodwin. Makes 2 good pitches to get back into the count, then throws a changeup and gets him out. Out front, gets a fielder's choice to get the second out and try to limit the damage in what's been a really rough inning for him.
A 24-pitch frame. This will be the 25th, and it'll be a first offering to Garcia. Back to Odorizzi, and he'll limit the damage to the back-to-back. Opposite field bombs. First from Collins. His fourth. It's been a bit since Sox fans have seen this. First in a month and a half for Tim Anderson. They've combined to give Chicago a 2-0 lead through 3. Chicago, the 2-0 lead as we head to the fourth. Brantley, Gurriel, Alvarez, Correa, if anybody gets on, for Houston against Lucas Giolito in the top half of the fourth inning. Brantley has the lone hit for Houston, a double in the first inning. And he'll take an outside corner strike as we're joined from the Houston dugout by a man who shut down the White Sox last night, Lance McCullers Jr. Now, listen, the last time you did this, Lance, a couple of weeks ago, Correa and Toro go deep in the inning. So if your guys have a big inning, I feel like this is going to become more, and like Todd and Jeff are going to ask you to do this in Houston now.
I mean, the pressure's on here. The pressure's on, and Brant about as good as it gets, but first out, you know, so we got some work to make up. But Yuli, Jordan, we get Carlos up and feeling good. We get Carlos up and feeling good.
Well, Lance, nice game last night for you against these White Sox. How much did it mean for you to get that extra inning and push Dusty for one more?
No, it was great. You know, I'm big on, you know, trying to go out there, trying to get those extra innings. Dusty has been showing some faith in me, especially my last two outings, you know, giving me the opportunity to go out there. You want to finish strong in those moments. You want your manager to be able to feel like, you know, you have that extra gear, you can dig deep, and come away with a clean inning. So I was very happy with that. And, you know, more than anything, we broke it open there in the sixth straw with an excellent at-bat. So it was a great win to start the second half.
You know, when we did talk to you a couple of weeks ago, you mentioned your offense, and obviously we joke around about it, but it is prolific. From your perspective, if you had to face this lineup, what's the toughest thing that you're game planning for when you look at, you know, 1 through 8, 1 through 9, essentially in this lineup?
Man, with our lineup, it's just, you know, you get guys on base. It's tough to get out of it with you know, without some damage. We don't strike out a lot. Our guys are really good at situational hitting. You know, we've done a great job this year. Carlos has been huge, especially for the young guys on the team. You know, helping them understand, you know, what is expected of them. You know, what we need to do in those situations to, you know, move guys over, get runners in. And so we do a great job with our situational hitting. So if I'm a pitcher and I was facing our lineup, you know, the toughest thing is keeping the other team off the base pass. And you know, that's tough to do, though. You know, this is a tough sport. You know, a lot of great hitters in our game today.
2-2 on Yuli Gurriel with one away.
That's what I like.
Towards center, hard hit, but a good beat on it for Goodwin.
That's good wood, though. That's good wood.
That's been the case for Gurriel as of late. Same deal with Alvarez, despite a little bit of a hitless stretch. Still a lot of at-bats and with a lot of pitch counts. I imagine that's tough to deal with this lineup. I mean, between Alvarez and Correa, 58 pitches last night in 10 trips.
Man, that's another thing with our lineup is we just grind at bats, and I think that's what makes it so tough. Is you're mixing a bunch of guys who really can hit. They get hit for power, they get hit for average. You know, they don't try to do too much. They take what's given to them, and they just grind at bats. I mean, just look at the at bats Carlos and some of these guys have had this year. They've just been outstanding. So these guys are prideful at every at bat when they go up there. So when you have a pitcher like today, you know, Lucas is doing a nice job, but you keep wearing them down, and we'll get to them.
Hey, Lance, I love when you talk about facing your team. Like, how many breaking balls would you throw against this team? I
mean, you seem pretty comfortable with the slider last night, admittedly.
I don't know. You know, maybe it's one of those things where I would have to, you know, start pumping heaters early. You know, I can get up to maybe 96, 97 there in the early going. You know, so pump some heaters and. You know, maybe we'll be a little cat and mouse game, but I'm 0 for tonight, boys. I'm 0 for tonight. That's on me. Carlos is going to come out next inning and get us started.
We appreciate the time as always. Phenomenal performance last night, Lance. Best of luck going forward.
All right, guys. Thank you.
1-2-3 inning from Giolito and a 2-0 Sox lead. Really appreciate the pitcher stepping in with us tonight.
Winning 2-0.
Yep. Andrew Vaughn takes high and away to start the bottom of the fourth inning. A 2-0 White Sox lead on back-to-back third-inning home runs. on a deep fly out that ended in a double play his first time. Not a good play from Garcia on the base paths, but White Sox have the first 2 runs of the game. Giolito with a shutdown top of the 4th. And now a ball and a strike on Andrew Vaughn. Tails away and outside.
And you can see by these misses by Odorizzi that he's just a little bit off.
Yep.
Like he's just missing. He's trying to live on the edges, but they're not close enough where these White Sox hitters are going out of the zone. That's a good sign for the White Sox and a bad sign for Odorizzi.
Vaughn, frustrated as he slams the bat. He, I would imagine, had the sense that he was just off on the swing. Instead, it's a long fly out to Brantley for the first out of the 4th.
Well, who would ever slam their bat after making it out on a pitch you think you should hit?
Never seen it before.
Never ever happened, but that was a mild snap. But what happened as a hitter, he gets in a good count. He gets a heater he thinks he should handle, and then it beats you, and then you look up and you're like 90.7. Man, I should be able to get to that every time. That's where the frustration as a hitter comes in.
There's Gavin Sheets. Young guys at the bottom of this order right now. Sheets, Berger, and Collins. Sheets a 2nd round pick in 2017. Berger a 1st rounder.
Let's not forget what a great job like the White Sox minor league system has done.
Very much so. So a lot of credit to them.
Sheets, Berger, a lot of these young guys that have had to step in. Vaughn, Chris Johnson down there in AAA, the hitting coach, doing a nice job with some of these hitters.
Sheets the other way. Well struck to left field. Back to the wall. And it's off the wall. Brantley couldn't make the play. Straw there to back it up. And it's a double for Gavin Sheets. Brantley seems to be all right. Gave it a good effort. But another man in scoring position for Chicago with 1 out of the 4th.
Another really nice job of hitting splitter up. Sheets doesn't try to pull it. He stays right on it. Hits the ball to left center field. Brantley gives it his A effort. Just misses it. I thought it was a home run off the bat. Brantley just misses it. Misses a home run by a few feet. Nice job by Straw to back him up. Get the ball back in. But the biggest thing for these White Sox hitters, they're using the opposite field.
Yep.
2 of the home runs opposite field. Now a double from Sheets the opposite way.
And here is the aforementioned Berger. Struck out his first time up on an elevated fastball. So you got Eloy Jimenez, Luis Robert, now Yasmani Grandal, and then Nick Madrigal. So essentially 4 starters. Almost half your lineup is out for what has been a pretty extended period of time. Grandal recently injured. Robert and Jimenez out for significant periods of time. Same with Madrigal for the last month. Lifted towards the gap in left center field and down. And for Jake Berger, it'll be his 2nd career Major League RBI. It gives the Sox a 3-0 lead as Sheets scores from 2nd. Back-to-back homers in the 3rd, back-to-back doubles in the 4th for Chicago.
And another nice piece of hitting. This one is in the opposite field, but he does the right thing. He looks like he's trying to stay middle of the field. Gets an off-speed pitch, a slider here from Odorizzi, and just rips it into the left center field gap. Watch how he stays back, doesn't go forward, keeps his head nicely on the ball, barrels it, and a 3-0 lead for the White Sox.
Berger in scoring position with Zach Collins, who hit the first of those 2 back-to-back home runs in the 3rd inning. He'll climb back in. Now you see the Sox being a little bit more aggressive earlier in the count against Odorizzi, who is past 60 pitches. Odorizzi, as you mentioned, the last couple of outings has gone deeper in the pitch count. 91 on 4th of July weekend on the road at Cleveland, and then a season-high 103 last week against the Yankees. Here's an 0-1. Big cut, 0-2.
Well, he missed over a month with an injury on the IL, and he missed a lot of last year also, not only because of injuries but because of the COVID and the shortened season. So he really missed over a year almost, Adam. So now he's just kind of getting back to where, you know, this guy has been durable as anybody for years when he was in Tampa and then in Minnesota. That's what the Astros want. They want him to be durable, go deep into a game. And veteran guys like Odorizzi, like, he's not panicked. He's given up 3. He's like, hey, I'll get you to the 6th, hopefully, and save some bullets down there in the bullpen. That's why nobody's up right now for the Astros, as Castro makes another amazing stop. Yep. That's why there's nobody up. Most teams, Dusty's been around for so long. Most teams, though, are, oh man, our starter, you know,
he's 70 pitches and it's 3-0, and he's laboring a little. We got to get him out.
But Dusty has been around long enough, and Odorizzi's been around long enough that unless this gets 6 or 7 here in this inning, Odorizzi will be out there again next inning more than likely if the Astros don't score. If the Astros score a couple runs, you might see some action. But because he's a veteran, Dusty knows him. Dusty knows what's going on. He'll let him try to figure it out.
1-2. Elevated that fastball.
Was that a keg they were throwing around?
It looked like it could either be a keg or,
no.
And I'm sure that because the Astros are in town, and this, as you mentioned, has been a story, could be symbolizing.
Don't say it.
Oscar the Grouch's home. We'll go with.
Nice.
Two-two. Fouled at the plate. Well, the Astros have heard it on the road all season long. You heard the boos for Correa and Altuve in particular tonight. And that's been the case throughout the season, especially as fans have been allowed back into the ballparks. But Houston has the second best record on the road in all of Major League Baseball this year. Altuve's heard it all year, and he's performed very well on the road. They're 10 games over on the road, 10 games over at home. Been a very impressive season for Houston. Certainly a bounce back year for a lot of guys who did not perform well in the shortened 2020. Another good stop by Castro keeps Berger at second base, and the count's full on Zach Collins, who has worked a nice at bat in the 9th spot again.
Well, when you hear a lot of boos on the road as a team, not just for one person. Oh no,
made it out of the field.
Who's going to get it? Nobody. Not the umpire. Doug Eddings sees it.
Yeah, one of the members of the grounds crew is coming out from the third base side. Well, while we've got a moment here to do some cleanup, let's get a quick word from our friends at Google.
On their feet, bases loaded, and the pitch deep to right field and out of here. Walk-off homer.
There it is, Oscar the Grouch is home.
And rightful appreciation for one of the best grounds crews in all of Major League Baseball, by the way. The Sox grounds crew is fantastic.
The Sod, led by the Sod father, Roger Boston.
That's right.
But back to the point we were talking about when they get booed, right? So as a team, like, the whole team is getting booed. It's not just like Altuve or it's not Correa. It's Correa, Altuve. It's everybody.
It's
so
the
it brings
brand
them
of
together.
those guys. Yeah,
but it brings them together. So that sometimes when you go on the road, it actually sometimes play better because it's us against the world, right? The mentality is, well, everybody hates us, so let's just show them. As opposed to if it's just one guy that takes it personally. I mean, the White Sox fans just threw a trash can on the field. Yeah. I mean, that doesn't tell you where the feelings are, then nothing will.
Yeah. There's a payoff to Collins, and he lays off. So the bottom of the order, Sheets a double, Berger an RBI double, and now Collins with a walk. Well, tonight's telecast is sponsored by Jersey Mike Subs. Be a sub above. And by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need. Millennium Park, right on Michigan Avenue, about 5 miles north of where we're at. On the south side of Chicago near Bridgeport. Guaranteed rate field to site. A 2-run third inning, 1 in the 4th against Odorizzi here. And now you see Brandon Bielak getting loosened up. he could be important tonight. He has been excellent against left-handers, and this is a lineup with 3 lefties and a couple of switch hitters tonight for the White Sox. A righty hit an opposite field shot in the 3rd. That was Anderson. 2 aboard with 1 out. First pitch swinging, punches it through the right side for a base hit. Berger will tap 3rd and come home to score. It's 4-0 Sox. Tim Anderson delivers again. The hit streak at 14 straight.
And another opposite field hit for the White Sox. You mentioned his opposite field home run. What does he do? He comes up, jumps early in the count. Line drive past Altuve into right center field to make it 4-0 White Sox.
Only Salvador Perez of the Royals is a freer swinger than Anderson. He's gone after the first pitch each of the last 2 trips. And to your point, A.J., if the White Sox keep adding on, and now Dusty Baker feels like it's getting out of hand, Odorizzi, the veteran, I'm sure disappointed with a short outing today. To the bullpen, the Astros go. Covered all baseball season long with a new late innings contest. You can download the Fox Bet Super 6 app now and enter for free for your chance to win big Copies money. Brandon Bielak enters with 2 on and 1 out in the 4th. 2 more across for the White Sox in this inning. And now the 2-hitter Moncada is 0 for 1 with a walk, will climb in facing the ship. In their first strike, Moncada batting left-handed against the righty Brandon Bielak, who has been very good against left-handers this season.
Bielak is the long guy, so the guy that eats up innings for the Houston Astros. He's out there right now to try to stop it. At 3, give the offense a chance, shut the White Sox down. Mostly fastball, slider. Will throw a changeup, but like you said, has been very effective against left-handed hitters this year.
Odorizzi has been talking about wanting to go deeper, had been a little bit better as of late, but 73 pitches, and the White Sox punching him a couple of times in each of these last 2 innings. And Bielak gets Moncada. Big second out for the Astros to get here in this 4th inning.
Almost a cutter up. See, Moncada gets underneath it. It just beats him to the spot. Nice pitch by Bielak. Huge second out here for the Astros.
That'll bring up Jose Abreu. Only American League player to ever lead the American League in RBIs in 3 straight years. Great Cecil fielder. Abreu trying to accomplish that feat. Good start here in 2021. And that one gets away from Bielak, and that is going to load the bases for the White Sox.
Well, if you're going to get hit, you'd rather get hit with one of these.
Yep, breaking ball.
Still hurts, though. Yep. I don't care. Everyone says, it was a slow curveball. Listen, that thing still hurts. Adam, let me take you down there on the field tomorrow. Let me pelt balls at you at 80 miles an hour, see if it hurts or not.
Exactly how I wanted to spend my Sunday.
I mean, I know it was only 80 miles an hour, but
still,
listen,
man,
it still hurts.
Yeah. I'm sure Ronald Acuna Jr. agrees with you as well after what he's dealt with the Marlins. It happened last Friday. Of course, Acuna hurt last Saturday. Here's Goodwin with the bases loaded, and he'll take a strike. White Sox have hit 4 grand slams this season. Top 3rd in the league in that category.
Well, this is why Goodwin is hitting behind Abreu in this order. Left-handed against the righty. Chance to break this game wide open.
1-1 the count. Well, the term for the Astros bullpen this year, reading in a couple of publications, has been relief volatility. This bullpen has started to put up better numbers towards the end of June, but had a couple of rough series against the Tigers and Orioles. But the bullpen has been excellent against Chicago this year. But Goodwin with a liner, but right to Altuve, and the White Sox leave them loaded in the fourth, but 2 more across. Jake Berger with an RBI double, and then Tim Anderson back-to-back frames with a run driven in, 4-0. Lucas Giolito has sparkled thus far, and his offense has given him 4 runs of support. He'll face Carlos Correa to lead things off in the top of the 5th. And Correa takes a fastball strike. Lucas Giolito, 4 innings, still hasn't hit 50 pitches just yet. He'll do it here. 1 hit was the Brantley double in the second batter of the game. Nothing since for Houston. And there's the 50th pitch. 1-1 on Correa.
And nothing even hit hard. There hasn't been anything. It's been all fly balls.
9 fly ball outs so far, including 1 from Correa.
3 strikeouts, but no ground balls. You know, other than the ball Brantley hit, everything else has been routine fly balls.
Lucas Giolito turned 27 years old this past Wednesday, Santa Monica native. First round draft pick of the Washington Nationals. Dusty Baker knows him well. 2-2 on Correa. So he started his career with the Nationals when Dusty was managing there. As we get a look at our player resume brought to us by Indeed. Short stint with Washington before he was traded to the White Sox in December of 2016. You see the numbers from 16 to 18 and the numbers improvement over the last few years. Still 2-2 on Carlos Correa. One of the reasons for this has been a change in arm slot, arm angle, and what he called an arm stroke, almost like a golfer. The way he, you know this obviously being a very good golfer. The swing path, very different for a lot of different golfers. Correa fouls another one up.
I would call it his arm swing, yes, arm stroke, but he was much longer when he first came up. You can see the difference in this photo. See how far behind his back he is in 2018, and then he worked his tail off to 2019 to get a shorter arm swing, arm stroke, whatever you want to call it. But because of that, it's made everything more effective because the hitters don't have as much time to see the ball.
There's a good-looking slider tailing away for his 4th strikeout. He gets Correa down.
So when you have a shorter arm stroke and the ball's hitting, you can't see the ball as a hitter until he lets it go. The one before, you could see the ball behind him. See how it's hidden, and then boom, here it comes. Plus, you also, it looks like he jumps at you as a hitter when you don't see the ball like that because it's, oh man, the ball's on top of me all of a sudden. And it's harder to time it. And this is just a filthy slider to Carlos Correa with 2 strikes to punch him out. But I mean, it changed his career. He has a commercial right now saying he was the worst pitcher in baseball.
Verbatim, it says it in the commercial.
He says it.
He says it himself.
Yeah. And for him to have that perspective and then go back and just change everything. I mean, that is so hard to do in the middle of your career, especially you've already had success. You've already made the major leagues. To go back and change it and then to go out and become an all-star and do the things he's done for the Chicago White Sox. A truly credit to Lucas Giolito and all the people, including Ethan Katz, who's now his pitching coach.
0-2 on Giolito. So the way he explained it to us when he started working with his old high school pitching coach, Ethan Katz, who's now the White Sox pitching coach, they used what are called plyo balls, which are just weighted balls. You probably work with them at a gym or something like that at some point. He started throwing weighted balls against the wall using that long arm stroke, and it hurt badly, he said. 0-2 to Kyle Tucker. There's another slider, and he gets another strikeout with that pitch to start off this 5th inning. So that hurts, that long stroke with a weighted ball, throwing it against the wall. So Katz tells him, why don't you shorten up your arm stroke and be more like an infielder, like a shortstop. Use your feet, be a little bit more athletic, and use an arm stroke like your teammate Tim Anderson would when he's making a play to throw to short. It's a really cut down arm stroke. Here's Toro out in front of that changeup, and that completely changed how he felt. He used that shorter stroke with the weighted ball. It felt comfortable, it felt easy, and it, as you mentioned, AJ, completely changed how his approach went. Toro pops it up. A 1-2-3 5th inning, 1 hit through 5 innings of work for Giolito. Halfway through in Chicago. prizes with as few as 10 picks with MLB Rally presented by BetMGM. You can download MLB Rally app now. Restrictions apply. See official rules at MLB.com/rally.
Is that big skirt?
Love that statue out there.
Frank, Big Hurt, one of the best, man. One of our guys at Fox too. Love that guy.
Hanging out in studio tonight. Check swing foul from Larry Garcia as Brandon Bielak works in his second inning of relief. Our good friends Kevin Burkhardt, Dontrell Willis, and the Big Hurt Frank Thomas. One of the greatest power hitters in White Sox history and in Major League history. Featured solidly throughout. 0-1 to Garcia from Bielak. He is waved on and missed. Garcia almost swung out of his shoes. It's 0-2.
He was the biggest dude
Yes,
I had ever played against.
That was as fitting of a nickname of a baseball player as I've ever heard in my life.
I mean, Frank. First time I remember playing against Frank, I first came up, and this is when he, back-to-back MVPs and had the reputation. He walks up to the plate, and you're like, "This is what a big leaguer looks like. I'm in trouble."
Still think back to that 1994 season that was strike shortened. The White Sox and Montreal Expos were off to 2 incredible starts, and Frank Thomas was well en route to maybe winning the Triple Crown that year. We got a potential Triple Crown winner this year. It's been a while since we've seen that. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. leading in all those categories entering this first weekend of the second half. There's a 2-2 to Garcia. Brandon Bielak, part of this Houston bullpen that is middle of the pack in Major League Baseball in terms of ERA. As we said, a little bit better as of late, but a couple of rough series towards the end of the first half for Houston's pen. Still haven't allowed a run to the White Sox, or hadn't until this game. See Guerrero, Ohtani, Guerrero, Lynn, and Cole. Guerrero a couple of home runs behind Shohei. Hit another bomb the other night in Buffalo. One of the last ones that you'll see in Buffalo. The Toronto Blue Jays approved to return in 2 weeks to Toronto and play in front of their home fans for the first time since September of 19.
Speaking of that, I was talking to the director of team travel for the White Sox, Ed Casson, before the game, and he was telling me they go to Toronto in August, and they're still trying to. I mean, I know it's only a couple weeks away, but they're trying to figure out: do they go into a bubble? Where do they stay? Are they allowed to do things in Toronto because they passed the threshold for vaccinations?
There's a lot to figure out.
Plus, he's got a plan. Like, if it doesn't happen, do they go to Buffalo? Do we need hotels in Buffalo?
The inner workings. Garcia just got a piece, stays alive. Well, we mentioned Shohei Ohtani. And he got $150,000 for being part of the home run derby.
Yes.
He distributed that money to a bunch of staffers who work around the ballpark and work in media relations and PR and travel for the Angels. Those are very unheralded people who work on a baseball team in their front office that never get talked about. There's so many complexities that it takes for this to get off without a hitch for the most part. And even then, it can get a little complicated.
Well, especially with COVID and everything that's happened, all the new protocols in place. But there are so many people behind the scenes of baseball teams, and the work they do is total. I mean, I sent a shirt of mine downstairs to Rob Warren, the clubhouse guy for the White Sox, to get washed. No problem, man. I'll have it back to you right away. Like, just people like that nobody knows, or the visiting clubhouse guy for the White Sox, Jason Gilliam, that does all the stuff for the Astros, supplies food, supplies laundry. Those guys, and then for Shohei to do that, what a nice gesture.
Another good at bat work by Larry Garcia, and he draws a leadoff 5th inning walk against Bielak. I'll bring up Andrew Vaughn. A couple of flyouts thus far. Bielak, an Edison, New Jersey native. One of my old stomping grounds. I mentioned the Atlantic League. It's from Edison in central New Jersey. Their team was the Somerset Patriots. They're now a Yankees affiliate at AA. A lot of changes in that league, as we were talking about earlier. But Belak, an 11th round pick in 2017, made his major league debut last season. 1-1 the count on Vaughn.
I'm expecting Garcia here to try to steal second, maybe. Adam, get in scoring position here. Try to put that 5th run on the board, gets him out of grand slam range. Great, right here, 2-1 count, great pitch for him to run on.
It's been tough against the Astros between their pitching staff and their crew of catchers. They have limited the running game all season. Only the Baltimore Orioles have allowed fewer stolen bases than the Astros have. White Sox are middle of the pack in the American League in stolen bases. Garcia has done it twice in 3 tries this year. Castro has not caught anybody behind the plate in 10 tries. Maldonado and Stubbs have had the better of it. Vaughn gets underneath another one and pops it up. Correa out, Brantley in, all the way in. Michael Brantley for out number 1.
That was a big league fly ball right there.
Way up there. Vaughn's had a couple of swings like that and a couple of trips off the end of the bat and underneath.
Another bat slam for him, Adam, your favorite.
Said as a man who, in his very, very limited playing duties,
never
got frustrated.
Nope, never ever broke a bat.
Did you ever pop one on the thigh? You ever snap?
Yeah,
one?
I did.
Yeah, you had a snap.
I've also not broken them on my thigh, and it hurts really.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and it doesn't look great. Like optically, it doesn't look good when you try to snap it and it doesn't happen.
Well, remember Bo Jackson broke one over his head, I think, right?
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. But yeah, I learned when I was younger that if you try to break a bat over your knee and you don't really mean it, it hurts.
Like you got to commit to it. Nice pitch by Belak for a strike.
Exactly.
You really got to commit to it.
Like that curveball he just threw, you have to commit to it.
Yeah, you got to commit to it. Throw pitches and break bats with conviction, people. That's an important lesson to take away.
And you also have to be careful. If you ever throw your helmet, which I don't recommend, make sure no one's around and you don't hit yourself with it. But a really nice curveball by Belak drops it in.
He's got a nice pitch arsenal, does Belak. Home with an 0-2, and there's that breaking ball again. Good job by Sheets to fight it off. A ground out and then a 1-out double in the 4th. He came around to score on the ensuing Berger double. So another young guy, as you mentioned, Yermin Mercedes got optioned back to AAA after his phenomenal start to the year. Rookie of the month in the American League in April. Really hit the skids after that as people figured out the book on him and he went through typical rookie struggles. So now another young player has to step up.
You see all these curveballs here by Belak to Sheets. I mentioned earlier he has yet to get a hit this the year that he's been up for the month or so off of a curveball, breaking ball. So again, the Astros know the scouting report, and that's why you've seen him get nothing but curveballs this at bat.
You're gonna have to learn fast at this level, right? If you're a young hitter, just about everybody can hit the fastball when you get to the major league level. You've seen it throughout your entire minor league career. Now you see the nasty stuff. Sheets puts a charge into one. Deep center field. This one's going to be long gone. And for Gavin Sheets, it's career home run number 4. They had 3 hits all of last night against Astros pitching. They have 3 home runs through not even 5 innings tonight.
And again, opposite field. And they tried to sneak the cheese by the rat at him. They'd thrown him 4 curveballs in a row. They tried to sneak the cheese by the rat. And he went opposite field for another home run for the White Sox.
Jake Berger holds off the heat, and it's 1-0. by Belak for a strike.
I mentioned all the curveballs, and guess what? There's the cheese, and the rat don't miss it. He eats it. Where does he go? Again, left of center field, opposite way. Great approach by Sheets. Great approach by the White Sox all night.
All fastballs in this at bat. 1-2 on Berger.
Sometimes you outthink yourself. As a catcher, as a pitcher, you say, man, I've thrown him 4 breaking balls. He hasn't done really anything. He's missed them. Oh, I'm going to try and sneak one by him. And you make a mistake, you throw it over the plate, and then it's a 2-run homer.
2-2.
If you're going to throw that pitch at him, you got to throw it for not a strike. 0-2 count. Granted, it was a mistake by Belak. But if you have to, as a catcher, you have to say, okay, this ball can't be anywhere close.
Right.
Because you know you want to get him out of the breaking ball.
Another fastball, and Berger lifts it to right. But out of play foul. Well, the Astros had dominated White Sox hitters. The bullpen had been sparkling as well, not having allowed a run in the first 5 meetings. White Sox had just 2 home runs against Astros pitching in the first 5 games. Surpassed that in this game alone. Berger on the ground to short. Nice sliding stop by Correa. Long throw and picked out by Gurriel in time. Nicely done for the second out. So that'll bring up Zach Collins. Zach Collins, part of our subway right combination. Kicked off the back-to-back bombs in the 3rd. First him going to left field, and then Tim Anderson to right.
Started the scoring for the White Sox. 2 really nice swings. And again, opposite field. That's been the key for the White Sox tonight. Almost all of their damage has been the other way. That means you're staying on the ball. You're letting the ball travel. They're just putting good swings and power to show.
There's that curveball again from Belak, and he drops it in for a strike. Well, Zach Collins, he's been told and he knows it. He needs to hit better if he wants to be an everyday catcher at this level.
Which is odd because when he came up, he was known as a bat first guy.
At Miami, he was a charged hitter, to say the least.
He was a bat first guy, couldn't catch. Well, could catch, but not what they thought. And now they rave about his defense and they worry about his hitting. So I think as a player, when you get told over and over and over again, oh, you can't do this, you can't do this, you work so hard on it, sometimes you forget about the other side of it, and hitting is really hard, so you can't forget about it. But he's got all the tools coming up. He had great on base percentage. That was one of the things they liked about him.
Right.
He's got power. We saw the opposite field home run. They always said his catching needed to improve. He's worked on that. Now he just needs to put it all together.
He's had a couple of good plate appearances tonight, but he's behind early in this one. 1-2 now the count on Collins. You saw Castro have to take a moment after he was hit with that foul tip, and he's all right and back behind the plate.
Castro's got to be back there saying, Brian Knight, where are some of these pitches? Because the Fox box is lighting up with strikes. Brian Knight behind the plate keeps calling the balls.
Yep.
It's been weird. He's given a lot off the plate away to lefties, but anything in, especially to lefty, he hasn't given anything on that side of the plate in either side.
That's the type of thing that you notice too behind the plate. You go, all right, because you know where every pitch is going to be. You're calling the game.
Well, you hope you hope it's where you want it to be.
Right. So you have a sense, obviously, for what the zone shifts and morphs into over the course of a night. Like that pitch right there. So that's a borderline call for.
But we've seen that call.
We've seen that call tonight. That's a call that could go either way, and that's a combination of catcher and umpire and trying to predict where the zone's going to be.
But listen. I've seen that pitch called a couple times.
Yeah, sure.
Both ways. So as a catcher, you're back there, you say, okay, you see Castro take another one. But you're thinking, okay, he's not giving me the pitch in, he's not giving me the pitch away. Now we're 3-2, where do I throw it? And then saying, I'm not going to say this happened, but say Zach Collins gets a hit right here. You just want to turn around and say to the umpire, we threw him 5 strikes and he got a hit. Like, what do we have to do?
Right.
And that's how you get ejected from a baseball game.
There's the blueprint, kids. If you're curious.
If you're ever wondering, just that's how it happens.
Time called. That's not an indictment or a criticism of the umpire. That's how the night goes for catchers, for umpires, for pitchers. It's all a navigation process night to night at the ballpark. Brian Knight typically neutral by most metrics between hitters and pitchers and where he leans. Still 3-2.
No, Brian Knight's he's good. He's good back there, but I'm saying as a catcher, watching the way the game goes, right? Okay, he's called. If you're Castro, you see the replays and you look at pitches, you say, okay, he's giving me a few inches off the plate away. Because he threw a strike, the Fox box lit up on the one end ball, and then we threw one away, probably 2 inches off the plate, he balled it, and then guess what? Now you're 3-2 and more pitches in.
And an 8th pitch. Now it'll be 9 pitches in this plate appearance coming up with Collins fighting off a few. So it's almost like the zone is shifted. The same size, quote unquote, so to speak, but it's shifted a little bit based on the preferences or tendencies of the guy behind the plate calling balls and strikes. A little more of the chess match insight from the World Series winning catcher A.J. Pierzinski, Adam Amin, our fantastic Fox Sports crew in Chicago tonight. 3-2 pitch. And there's the curveball. Bielak gets the strikeout to close out the 5th. But the White Sox have teed off tonight. Gavin Sheets, the latest, a 2-run blast to add to the lead. It's 6-0 through 5 in Chicago. Billy Hamilton will check into the game in center field. He takes the spot of Gavin Sheets, the rookie, who closes out his night well. So insert Hamilton in the 7 spot. Brian Goodwin moves from center field over to right field to take the spot of Sheets defensively. The White Sox have a 6-0 lead off 3 home runs tonight, and Lucas Giolito has been spectacular, retiring 15 of 16 Astros he has faced. Starts the 6th inning facing Jason Castro and misses high and away.
Well, if the Astros are going to get back into this game, they have to start now. We're into the 6th inning. Giolito's been spectacular, like you said, Adam. But if he gets through this inning, might be too little too late, because then the Sox have their bullpen lined up.
Yep.
Everybody's ready to go. You got to start chipping away right here.
See if the bottom of the Astros order can get something going. They've shown off a lot of depth with some of their injuries as well. Still the lone hit for the Astros is the Brantley double. And it's 2-1 on Jason Castro. Giolito tonight on the mound, as is his high school teammate, one of the 2 that has been well documented in Major League Baseball, Jack Flaherty and Max Fried. Lucas Giolito, all part of that great Harvard Westlake program in LA that had Ethan Katz as their pitching coach in high school. And very similar outings tonight for Giolito and for Max Fried. Fried has pitched through 6 innings, has struck out 6 in shutout fashion against Tampa Bay. And the same deal for Giolito through 5. I'm sure it's a proud night for Ethan Katz this evening. Of course, Jack Flaherty of the Cardinals still hoping to work back from injury. 2-2. And he froze him. Worked back on that 2-1 pitch, got the outside corner as A.J. pointed out, and then comes back to freeze him here for his 6th strikeout.
You see Castro's reaction, though?
Yes.
See what he said to Brian Knight?
Yes.
That's what we talked about when he was in the field.
Exactly.
He's not complaining about the last pitch, because the last pitch is a strike.
Yes.
This one's a strike, right? He's complaining about the 2-1 pitch that got him to 2-2. He's saying, Brian, we throw that same pitch. I can't get it from my guy. Has a short conversation, kind of rolls his eyes and is like, okay, whatever, dude.
You can understand that. You can understand that frustration, because again, you're working for your pitcher. You're doing that for your pitcher. Here's Straw swinging away, and there's Hamilton tested early. He's cut off by Goodwin. My goodness, and a smile on Hamilton's face. Brian Goodwin cut him off in the outfield for that. That's not the first time that's happened in a White Sox outfield in the last couple of years. A good play by Goodwin, and Giolito's happy to get the out either way.
Well, it's not often you see the center fielder dive and not catch the ball and get cut off by the right fielder, but really nice play by Brian Goodwin to cut off Hamilton, made it look routine, not for Billy Hamilton, but for Goodwin, and all they can do is smile at each other.
Strong defense always shows its face during a fine pitching performance. Goodwin and Hamilton somehow team up for the out. Here's Altuve. still seeking that milestone hit to get him to 1,700. Has not swung at the first pitch tonight. He's been typically aggressive, and Giolito's been vulnerable on first pitches this year. Altuve pulls that one foul. Let's go back to 2012. This was Lucas Giolito's senior season, playing with Max Fried and Jack Flaherty. Lucas actually suffered an injury that year. He had an elbow injury. He was slotted by a lot of scouts to be a potential #1 overall pick in 2012. The elbow injury turned some teams off. He ended up falling number 16 to Washington. Boy, Altuve went after that fastball, as he often does, upstairs, and it's 1-2.
How the heck did they ever lose a game in high school?
It's hard to imagine, right, with those three.
And then how did Ethan Katz, that guy, find enough innings for those three? Normally you have one guy like in high school, maybe two that you lean on, and they had three of them.
Yep. 1-2. Altuve bounces it to Moncada. And a 1-2-3-6 on a spectacular performance on this Saturday night from Lucas Giolito. And Brian Goodwin having a little fun with the guys after their, I don't know if it was a near collision, but it felt like it. Definitely felt like it while it was taking place. Even Andrew Vaughn getting in on it on the other side. Daryl Boston coming over to have a laugh.
Yeah, what kind of outfield coach is Daryl Boston telling his guys to run into each other like that?
Come on, Daryl. Hey, welcome back, Joe Smith. Just back from the right elbow injury recently, and he deals to Tim Anderson, who for a third straight at bat goes after the first pitch and has a third straight productive hit. This one an extra base hit to start off the sixth. Back to tendency TA and doing well with 3 hits in his last 3 trips. Only Salvador Perez has a higher swing rate in all of baseball this year.
Ultra aggressive. Joe Smith, welcome back from the IL. Hang a slider. Boom. Double right out the gate. Tim Anderson's what? A triple away from the cycle, Adam.
Yep.
We got some drama here in Chicago.
Well, I mean, was last night's cycle kind of, dramatic at all? As you see, that's a club record, by the way, 10 straight games with a hit and a run for Tim Anderson. I mean, Cronenworth had one in, what was it, 23-8 last night, San Diego? Is that a little less climactic if it's done in a 15-run game?
No.
Still pretty cool, right?
No.
Third Padre to ever hit for the
I wish I could have done it. It would have been cool.
Did you ever come close? You ever go one hit shot?
Yeah,
I met him a few times.
The triple was the hard one.
Yeah. Of course it was, yes. Well, what was I thinking for my catcher friend here? Of course the triple was the hardest one to get.
Tim Anderson, he's got a shot at a triple. Me,
not as much.
Not so much.
Big cut from Moncada, and it's 0-2.
So Joe Smith, the wily veteran here for the Astros in side armor. Put together a nice career for himself.
Now 37 years of age, originally from Cincinnati. Journeyman who's back in it this year after the 2020 season, where he had re-signed but ended up opting out of the year last year. Forfeited his salary to go back to Ohio and spend time with his mother. His mother was actually dealing with Huntington's disease, a neurological issue. And Joe wanted to be with his family. And he is back this season dealing with the right elbow. His third appearance since coming off the IL. Pitched a scoreless inning in the first half finale against the Yankees. You mentioned the long career. 807 appearances. Tonight matches Nolan Ryan for top 49 in Major League history in pitchers' appearances. It's just nice to be in any category with a Nolan Ryan.
Well, he's a reliever, though.
No, I agree. I just wanted to say the name. I'm sure Astros fans appreciate any Nolan Ryan references. I just wanted to say Nolan Ryan. Have an excuse for it.
No, but I mean, Nolan Ryan was a starter.
I 100% agree.
So just the fact that
let's contextualize that a little bit. One out of every 5.
Yes.
to Moncada. A lot of movement on that one, fouled away.
That shows you how long Nolan Ryan pitched.
Yep.
How rarely he was injured.
But 800 plus for a reliever, that being said, is a really nice number to be at.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But no, Joe Smith.
800 for a starter is off the charts, yes.
Joe Smith has put together a really, really nice career.
Absolutely.
logged a lot of meaningful innings. I mean, he was a main setup guy for a really long time.
Been with the Astros since 2018. Has been with Cleveland and Toronto, with the Cubs, the Angels, and the Mets as well, where he started his pro career. 2-2 is punched towards the left side. Nice diving play by Toro. Over to the third base bag to cover went Smith, but that ball gets away from first. Anderson safe at third, and safe at first base is Moncada. Good base running by Anderson, and it's runners at the corners with nobody out.
Well, nice base running by Anderson. First of all, nice play by Toro to keep this ball in the infield with the full layout dive. Another should be a hit. I'm assuming it's going to be a hit. Another opposite field hit. But the reason Anderson goes to third is Joe Smith, the pitcher, is over there. And if Gurriel picks that, he's not going to throw out Anderson at third anyways. So nice play by Toro. Off balance throw. Tough pick for Gurriel. And then Smith. Oh no, I got to try to beat Tim Anderson to third. It's kind of, I bet you in the back of his mind, he's a little thankful there was no play there.
Yeah.
As much as he wants to take the out and maybe get a double play, he's also thinking, no, there's no way.
Here's Abreu. There's the MVP chance for Abreu. The runners at the corners. 2-0. They will rule it as an infield single for Yoan Moncada. That was a really nice play by Toro. Would have been a spectacular defensive play had he gotten the out. Abreu hammers it to left. Long gone. All Sox tonight. 9-0. A fourth home run. And that one has just tied it with Carlton Fisk on the all-time White Sox charts with 214.
Well, Adam, I think you and everybody in the ballpark knew as soon as he hit this. I love your call, and gone, clear and homer. That ball got out of here quick. A laser by Jose Abreu.
There's Goodwin. Nice play at second base by Altuve. First out here in the sixth. Back to the fourth White Sox home run of the night.
Abreu up 2-0. Just a ball belt high right down the middle. An absolute laser. Abreu hits to left field, 423 feet. Gone in about half a second. Not only did you know it, Adam, I'm pretty sure Tim Anderson knew it right away.
Here's Garcia. It's a pretty impressive list right at the top of the White Sox power charts. You mentioned our colleague Frank Thomas up there. Konerko. Now Abreu and Fisk on that list. Obviously, we mentioned Nolan Ryan. Anytime you're tied with that name on any list, that's good. Anytime you're tied with Carlton Fisk in a home run hitting category, also a pretty good spot to be. 0-2 on Leury Garcia. And fouled away. Hall of Famer Harold Baines up there as well. He's next for Abreu to try to catch up to. Got a long way to go before the top two boys, though.
Well, the top four have statues. Thomas, I don't know why Konerko how did he hit that many? He had good protection. The lineup
That's right.
for a long time, for about 8 years. Some left-handed catcher hitting behind him a little bit.
That left-handed catcher, by the way, had 24 triples in his major league career in over 2,000 games. So many cycle opportunities.
Oh, Paulie. Frank, Paulie, Harold, Carlton Fisk, all Hall of Famers. Great players for the White Sox organization.
It's always interesting to watch, guys, because we look at a lot of players around the league. And, I mean, shoot, you can look at the Astros right now. Early, very early, but you're kind of assuming things based off pace, right? You go, all right, Carlos Correa, Jose Altuve, the numbers they put up, they've got a real shot. It's still such a long way to go. So many twists and turns can happen, and it's so hard to get there. We say that very easily because we want to connect the past and the present, because that's what this sport is made of. The past connects to the present in this sport as well as any in America, in any professional sport. So you want to make that connectivity, but it's so hard to get there over a long period of time. And that's the other thing we kind of forget when we look at the career Altuve and Correa and like an Abreu have had so far.
Well, the Baseball Hall of Fame is
ground ball in first for an out.
The hardest Hall of Fame to get into, for my money. It's such a hard, and it's so basically judgmental by the writers of baseball, right? They pick and choose their favorites. I mean, Jose Abreu, the problem with him is he got started too late coming over from Cuba. So I mean, to be honest, he could put out, unless he hits 200 or more home runs really quickly, for him to get in the Hall of Fame is almost impossible. It's not his fault. It's just because he was from Cuba and he had to get over here and get going.
Yeah, defected in 2013.
Altuve's got a real shot at going to the Hall of Fame because of his numbers. He's got an MVP. He's got a World Series. He's got a bunch of All-Star games. He's got 1 million hits, right? Verlander on the Astros, surefire first ballot Hall of Famer. But other than that, it's so hard to pick a Hall of Famer, especially early in their career, because you could look and say, how many rookies of the year go out and have a great year, and then they fall. Yermin Mercedes for the White Sox.
Yep.
He hit 400 for April, and now he's in AAA. It's just such a long process and so hard to get to the Hall of Fame.
Andrew Vaughn floats one out to center for Straw. The home run party tonight has taken place on the south side. 4 of them. Abreu tied with Fisk. 9-0 Sox lead.
Yeah, my point exactly. Well, they're in the 8th, sorry.
MLB The Show 21 is available now on Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and with Game Pass. Own your rivals, own the show. Rated E for everyone. Chas McCormick will pinch hit in the 2 spots, so Michael Brantley finishes his night with a double and a flyout and a play in left field where he ended up crashing into the wall on a double. That didn't seem to affect him much, but he's done for the night in a 9-0 game. Chas McCormick's had a nice solid start. Hitting 250. He's put together a 10 home run season in just 56 games so far.
Big power from McCormick, and this is a sign. I'm not saying Dusty Baker's waving the white flag, but he's trying to get Brantley off his feet. They have a day game tomorrow.
Yep.
Give him a little rest. Get him back out there tomorrow. Veteran guy, veteran manager.
Big cut from McCormick. It's 1-2. Both managers, these 2 teams, went through long stretches at the end of the first half, like a lot of teams did. Houston had a 20-20 stretch, so Dusty tried to do right by his guys and rest them on staggering days. Giolito has retired 18 of the 19 Astros he has faced. Pulled on the ground, foul by McCormick.
Well, that's really with a 9-0 score here, Adam. Really, the only drama left is how deep can Giolito go?
Yep.
Can he get him through 8? Can he go through CG?
This is going to be the 75th pitch. That's it. He just started the 7th inning. A very efficient night for Giolito, who has not thrown more than 15 pitches in an inning. 1-2 on Chas McCormick, and he goes down swinging. Strikeout number 7 for Giolito tonight. 1 away in the 7th, and we check in with our guy KB. He's got a game break. What's up, Kev? Yeah, Cubs needed that. They went limping into the All-Star break, entering tonight in 3rd place in the National League Central, but we're going to take the first 2 from Arizona. Already Jock Peterson was traded. He was one of the secondary bats on the market for the Cubs, and he goes to Atlanta, a team that has had some holes in their lineup, in particular after the Acuna injury. 1-1 on Yuli Gurriel. Here's some of the second half storylines. AJ and our crew and I were kind of chatting around. So obviously the trade deadline in 2 weeks at the end of July. Jose Barrios in the American League Central, a key name. You see Shohei Ohtani in the American League West. The Astros will see plenty of him. And who's going to win the National League West? And what has been the most competitive top of the division in baseball this year, with the Giants, Dodgers, and Padres all getting hot at various points this year in the first half.
Absolutely. Great finish. We're in store for a great finish, especially in the NL West. Those 3 teams, many people would say those are probably the best 3 teams in the National League, all in one division.
Yep.
And it's amazing they haven't really beaten up on each other too much.
Giants have won 5 in a row. Dodgers have won 3 in a row. And as you mentioned, the Padres are coming off a record-setting night. 23 runs, a franchise record against Washington yesterday. 3-2 on Gurriel.
But I think another great. Sorry, there's a graphic on the scoreboard that says Alexi Ramirez scored the go-ahead run on a wild pitch on an intentional walk
against the Angels.
Which I was there for. Which is why I hated when they eliminated the intentional walk.
There's Zach Collins making the grab. Gurriel pops out 2 up and 2 down. That was just funny to me to show off this how distracted you got. Yeah. Very quickly. That was my favorite part of the moment.
I saw it and I was like, I remember that. But back to but the thing is, so not only the NL West, but what happens in the AL East, right? The Red Sox have a lead.
Good start for them tonight. No hitting the Yankees through 3 for Nathan Eovaldi.
The Yankees, what do they do? Where are they?
Sure.
Right. The Rays are there. They're ahead of them. The NL West, it's going to be those 3 teams in the postseason more than likely. So there's no other wild card. Who wins that will be the Dodgers that come. You know, there's so many. NL East is kind of up for grabs still. There's a lot of good storylines.
Anderson had to play with that one as he was trying to find it in the lights. Little 1-2-3 inning from Giolito. Efficient. Shutting out the Astros through 7. Is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. And by the Eat Fresh Refresh at Subway. Of course, these 2 teams met in the 2005 World Series when the Astros obviously were still in the National League. A 4-0 sweep in the World Series for the White Sox to break their long drought, and that was the iconic moment. I always love when you tell me this story because you go, I jumped into Bobby Jenks' arms because I didn't want him to jump into mine.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What a great moment for White Sox fans, the organization, the players, obviously.
Billy Hamilton fouls one back towards A.J. He leaned out to get it. He couldn't grab it. Well, speaking of nice moments, welcome back to the big leagues for Austin Pruitt. This is his first appearance in a big league game since September the 23rd of 2019 when he was with the Tampa Bay Rays. Billy Hamilton's first plate appearance, and he's quickly behind 0-2. Pruitt, a guy who came up with Tampa Bay, but after being traded to the Astros in January of 2020, he ended up suffering a hairline fracture in his right elbow. You see the defensive changes for Houston as well. Hamilton's got another one in foul territory. Toro over with room, and he's got it. Out number 1 behind Pruitt. So Pruitt did not appear in a game after he was recovering from that elbow surgery. There was a lot of talk about him coming up, adding some depth to this bullpen. Only got his opportunity with Tampa Bay because his now Houston teammate Jake Odorizzi got hurt. So he took one of his spots in the pitching staff. So a little bit of full circle action for Austin Pruitt, who's back in the big leagues, and good to see him back.
Welcome back. You always like hearing those stories of people coming back from injuries and fighting their way back through tough times.
So Pruitt retires Hamilton and is ahead of Berger 0-1.
Well, 2 things. First of all, we were talking about maybe getting distracted by the stat. You can't get distracted here at Guaranteed Rate Field. because their foul balls are in play.
The netting is a little bit lower behind home plate. Like it's on more of an angle, like a steeper angle. So you see how it almost ducks downward? A lot of ballparks will be a little bit higher or angle up, so the netting will catch more foul balls. Here, this is AJ's favorite part because Hamilton tossed a couple up this way, and you lean out a little further, and I'm a little worried for your safety at that point.
Yeah, I don't think I don't have go-go gadget arms, so I couldn't get it. But one went in the, I think the
Gene Honda's
booth next to us. And we got
deep to left, his first big league home run. It's Jake Burger to go up 10-0. Find that baseball and give it to this man. Career game number 9, home run number 1 for Jake Burger.
first home game in a White Sox uniform. First big league homer. I think that kid has the ball.
I think what's he going to smile?
What's he going to ask for? Ask for the world, kid.
I bet. Listen, man, they're going to come to you. He's proudly showing it. They're going to come to you, and they're going to say, "What do you want?" Because we need that baseball. That's awesome.
You got to ask for the world if you're that kid.
Hey,
Jake Burger will give you a lot for that ball.
Absolutely. Give that kid a bat, a glove, whatever you need to. There's Collins, who has hit one of the now 5 White Sox homers tonight. And now you see the folks from the ballpark talking to the family as well. That's pretty cool. Congratulations to Jake Burger, his first major league home run, a guy who had a lot of power in the minor leagues. Hit 47 home runs in college at Missouri State, hit 15 in just over what would be considered a half season in 93 games. And they've got the baseball, and they're going to make sure that that young fan and his family get taken care of.
He'll get an autograph. He'll probably get some pictures with Jake Burger.
I would love if they got a photo with him at one point. That'd be cool.
Listen, to get that ball back, Jake Burger will do whatever he takes. As for season tickets, I mean, they'll probably do it for the kids. Jake Burger will be happy to trade that.
2-2 on Zach Collins. And he goes down swinging. Nice curveball by Pruitt. His first strikeout in a couple of years. 2 away in the 7th. Back to the home run. The first for Burger.
This ball is absolutely smashed. Gets a heater in. He's ready for it. 456, by the way, on your first big league homer. A moment that young man will never forget. First home game as a White Sox, and he almost hits it up there in the concourse and makes that kid's life. Look how happy that kid is.
That was a heck of a play by that young man, too. 2 away, back to the top. Anderson has a home run as well. He's a triple shy of the cycle, if that sort of thing intrigues you. Somewhere our good buddy John Sciambi is rolling his eyes at the thought of a cycle.
I think if you get a cycle for the White Sox, Jerry Reinsdorf buys you a ring.
It's not a bad way to go about it. Ooh, Anderson into the seats. They didn't ice him out. They gave him the love right away.
I like it. Smile you'll never take away. No matter what happens for Jake Burger the rest of his life, he always has at least 1 home run in the major leagues.
Anderson fouls it at the plate, 1-2.
Listen, Tim Anderson knows he needs a triple for the cycle right here. If he hits a ball in the gap anywhere, if he hits a ball anywhere that gets to the wall, they will have to throw him out at third base to make him stop.
Jose Abreu was the last White Sox to hit for the cycle. That was 4 years ago against the Giants. 6 cycles in White Sox history.
I know Chris Singleton had one. Abreu, obviously.
We mentioned Carlton Fisk earlier. He had one.
Yeah.
Great Ray Shaw.
Yeah.
And Jack Brohamer.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed one. I'm sorry. Jose Valentin as well.
The Whammer.
Until Abreu had his, Valentin had the one prior to that, 2000.
The Whammer.
Very well. Tim Anderson on a red-hot stretch, 14-game hit streak, hitting over 400 during that streak. And if the White Sox are going to start playing better against the good teams in baseball, Anderson's going to have to continue that type of stretch. Sox are in a division that has been disappointing, to say the least. The Twins were the division winner last year. They have had a terrible season. The Indians were the best competition, but their starting staff has dealt with so much injury this season, and their lineup has lacked some depth. On the ground to Correa. Or to the sub, pardon. Jake Berger, his first career big league homer. It's 10-0 White Sox. On Fox, high-scoring win on Thursday for the U.S. men's national team. They need one more win to clinch the top spot in group play. They'll take on Team Canada tomorrow at 5 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Daryl DK, big performance against Martinique the other night with a couple of goals. Well, Lucas Giolito, part of a staff that has pitched very deep. In fact, the most or fewest innings pitched by a bullpen in Major League Baseball is the White Sox. That's because their starters, for the most part, have gone deep in games. Giolito pitching into the 8th. He deals a strike to Robel Garcia, who came in the last inning for Carlos Correa, whose night ends 0 for 2. He made the last out to retire Tim Anderson in the 7th, and he is at the plate for the first time tonight. Garcia flies one out to Billy Hamilton in center. One away. 7 1/3 shutout innings. It is our Hyundai lift of the game. He has retired all but one batter tonight, and that was this hit by Michael Brantley, 2 batters in.
Well, the lift of the game sums it up because he has been outstanding for the White Sox. And the lift is they've almost been exclusively weak fly ball outs. There's been one ground ball hit by the Astros today that came in the 6th inning to end the 6th inning. Lucas Giolito has got nothing but weak contact, a ton of fly balls, especially to center field. And I cannot believe he gave up one hit, Adam, or we'd be looking at something special. Great night so far for Lucas, but that one darn hit.
Well, Giolito has been part of a no-hitter. Did it last year against the Pirates. Only had one base runner in that performance. Eric Gonzalez on a hit by pitch. That was it. Kyle Tucker, you could tell he was frustrated when he made contact. Another fly ball out to Billy Hamilton. 2 up and 2 down. That is 23 of 24 retired tonight by Giolito.
Very efficient. Nobody stirring in the White Sox bullpen. He's got a chance to finish his game and get the CG complete game shutout, which is, for a pitcher, for a pitching staff, is a huge day.
He's had 4 of them in his career, including that no-hitter last year. There's Toro. Yuli Gurriel tonight 0 for 3, as many of the Astros are this evening. Toro goes the other way, deep to left. Vaughn ranging back at the track, and Houston's on the board. Abraham Toro, with his 4th home run of the year in just 29 games, breaks up the shutout. Well struck by Toro, who has shown some good power at times while he's been filling in this season for Alex Bregman.
Wow. We were just talking about how in complete control Giolito was, and then breaking ball, Toro to go opposite field. And it just sneaks over the wall, but wow. Giolito completely cruising. Seemed like the Astros just had no answer, nothing going. And then Abraham Toro steps up and takes a breaking ball and goes opposite field. Also a theme for the night, Adam.
Yeah.
A lot of opposite field homers. All have been, except for Berger, have been hit to the opposite field.
Castro reaches out and lines it to Tim Anderson in the ship. Astros finally break through Giolito. He's a little frustrated, but he has pitched very well through 8. 10-1, Chicago leads. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Geico. Save even more when you bundle home and car insurance. And by the all-new Hyundai Tucson, our best Tucson ever. Turning into a very nice, comfortable night in Chicago this evening. White Sox with a comfortable lead. Abraham Toro, though, with a home run to get the Sox on the board, or the Astros on the board against the Sox. And as you mentioned, the right-hander making his Astros debut, Austin Pruitt, goes into his second inning of relief. Yoan Moncada will lead things off for Chicago with Abreu and Goodwin spots to follow. Moncada pops one up. Toro out of the shift. McCormick in from left. It'll be McCormick for a one-pitch out. Let's give you a little flashback in this here 9-run game. You might be wondering, well, why are we going all the way back to 2002's Game 5 of the World Series? This is an iconic moment. That's JT Snow carrying Darren Baker, the son of Dusty Baker, out of harm's way as some key runs were coming in. As the Giants were playing the Angels in that World Series. That was Dusty's young son at the time. And Darren, man, does time fly. Congratulations to Darren Baker, who last week in Major League Baseball's draft got picked up in the 10th round by the Washington Nationals, and that is a very proud father in Dusty Baker right there.
No, he couldn't wipe the smile off his face talking about his son.
Abreu deep to left field. McCormick back at the track, and he's got it for out number 2. So he played his college ball at Cal. Well-developed player. Mike Rizzo called Dusty Baker, and of course Mike Rizzo, the GM of the Nationals, who had Dusty Baker in Washington, said, hey man, I'm drafting Darren, I'm drafting your kid. I asked Dusty how he was feeling a couple of weeks ago about it, and he said, I'm more nervous than Darren is, but Darren is trying to play it cool. I don't know how cool he really is, but obviously both father and son thrilled, and imagine a couple of father and son duos are thrilled right now. Billy Wagner's kid Will out of Liberty, and Jack Leiter, who had a phenomenal 2-year stretch at Vanderbilt. All part of our Above and Beyond, sponsored by Jersey Mike's tonight. Good to see the sons of baseball fathers getting their opportunity to someday maybe play in the big leagues.
And proud papa, as he should be, Dusty Baker. I remember that moment with Darren Baker in the World Series, JT Snow, and they changed the rules because he had to be 16 after that to be a bat boy. But Dusty Baker, discussing it today, man, he was just beaming that his son's going to get an opportunity to play professional baseball, maybe one day play in the major leagues.
One-two. Off of Pruitt, and that's going to skip into no man's land. And that'll be an infield base hit for Brian Goodwin, his second hit of the night. He's more of a 2 out.
Now, before we get into the 9th inning here, I just want to say, Eric, someone I know was recently had stage 4 cancer and had emergency surgery, so I want to say, hey, we're wishing you the best. He's a White Sox fan, so all the White Sox fans are behind you. Keep fighting.
Appreciate you, Eric. A.J. speaks very highly of you. Larry Garcia gets hit. Goodwin will move to second base. Garcia aboard for the 3rd time tonight. Couple of walks and now a hit by pitch.
An ow, back elbow.
Yep.
I saw Herm Schneider today, the old trainer for the White Sox, who
Muscling out a massage on Tony La Russa earlier
exactly.
today.
But he also is in charge of the COVID procedures for the White Sox now. But you get hit by a ball, he had these things called the prongs. And they ran electrical current between the prongs, and he'd rub it on whenever he got hit. And it hurt so bad, and he loved doing it to you. He would laugh, you'd be almost crying. He'd laugh. You have to sit there for like 20 minutes as he pushed these things into whatever bruise you had.
2 on Vaughn. Remember, in the first 5 games of this season series, Astros won all 5, and they had outscored the White Sox 34-9. 10-1 differential tonight for 2 teams that carry 2 of the top run differentials overall into the contest this evening. Astros second in the majors entering tonight. White Sox 4th in the major leagues. Ooh. Oh no, I got a piece of Brian Knight. While we have a moment, a quick word from Google.
Just about everybody on their feet. Bases loaded and the pitch. Deep to right field and out of here. Walk-off homer.
Great microphones by our crew.
Really heard it there. You heard Brian's reaction, and I got him at a tough spot. Perfect time for an advertisement, by the way, so we appreciate our crew giving us that levity. Castro giving him another moment, too. Man. That is
I don't miss
not
that.
fun. Not fun back there.
I do not miss that, Adam. Taking foul balls. Ooh.
Just sucks the wind out of you.
So as a catcher, you're kind of expecting, you see Castro block the ball there. You're ready for it because you're moving and you're attacking the ball. But as an umpire, you're not expecting to get hit by the ball that often. So when it gets you, it scares you, I think, more than anything, most of the time.
One, two. Vaughn pops it up deep and taking Tucker all the way back. That carried very well to the track. But it'll be a long out to close out the frame. Lucas Giolito has been sparkling tonight. Will he finish it out? In-game video highlights, live pitch by pitch, breaking news, player updates, stat leaderboards, and more for your favorite team and the rest of the league. I've got it up on my phone tracking this game, and I'm looking at Lucas Giolito's line. 8 innings, 2 hits, a single run on that solo shot from Toro in the last inning. No walks, 7 strikeouts. And he's about to throw just his 91st pitch of the night. And Miles Straw fouls it away. The Astros saw a phenomenal pitching performance last week with Garrett Cole in Houston of the Yankees throwing a complete game shutout. This won't be as clean of a line, but Giolito has been spectacular.
He has been in complete control of the game.
Straw, hard hit to center to his counterpart Hamilton. 1 down.
And that has been what he's done so great. Fly ball after fly ball, weak contact. Other than the 1 home run to Abraham Toro, but Lucas Giolito has just dominated this Astros lineup, which came in leading the league in runs scored.
And it's an important win, you would think, tonight. So this is the tale of the tape. This is not the season series. This is the 2 teams' individual seasons. Both of them top 5 in offense. Excellent starting staffs, very good pitching staffs overall. Defense, obviously, Houston has the better of it, but that bottom line is what we talked about at the top of the broadcast. You talked to Lance Lynn about it during the game tonight. There's Altuve out the front, 0-1. Listen, the result of this game tomorrow probably won't matter in the scheme of this series and how these 2 teams approach their finale of this series. But in the long scheme of things, you ask Lance Lynn, does it matter to get a win tonight, to maybe get a win tomorrow? And it does, because the Astros are one of the best teams in baseball right now. The White Sox have one of the best records in baseball, but they haven't done it against the really great teams. You've seen games like this year. White Sox have had big wins against teams in blowout fashion, but it's been like Detroit or Minnesota, maybe Kansas City in their own division. This is a little bit more of a statement tonight, maybe a necessary one for the White Sox.
Well, the graphic we showed, the line on the bottom for me, the White Sox are going to be in the playoffs. They're going to win the division. Yeah. They're going to win it by double digits easily. The Astros are more than likely going to be in the playoffs, and they're going to be in the playoffs. They're more than likely going to win their division also. The way they swing the bat, the way they pitch, everything they have, they're going to be there. But the line we showed on the bottom, verse over 500 versus sub 500. For the Astros, they were winning over 600. The White Sox were way below 500.
Yes.
That's the most important thing, because you don't face
Altuve towards center and over Garcia for a base.
You don't face bad teams in the playoffs.
Right.
You face the good teams. And if you look at the White Sox record against the Yankees, even the Angels, who are a decent team, the Astros, any other team they play over 500, it's not good. So this game will help that. It also helps their confidence against their potential matchup in the first round in the Astros. You have to win these games because you can have a great record against the bad teams and pile up wins in a bad division like the White Sox are doing. But then you got to go beat the good teams. Yeah. If you haven't done it, you don't know that you can.
Here's McCormick with one away. Congratulations to Jose Altuve. He gets the knock here in the 9th inning. That is career hit number 1,700 for Jose Altuve. He's already top 4 all time in Houston history in that category. Wouldn't take a long time to get the right guess for who's at the top. One of the great hitters in Major League history, in Craig Biggio. Pitch number 99 for Giolito here. Trying to finish it off. Just a little bit low. 2 balls and a strike on McCormick. Got top 3 in front of Altuve now. Obviously Biggio, he ended up with 3,060. Then you got Bagwell and Jose Cruz. Nice little list in front of Altuve.
Well, Biggio in the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Bagwell in the Hall of Fame.
There's a strike, 2-2 on the 100th pitch of the night from Giolito.
Jose Cruz, a really good player, and Jose Altuve, we already discussed,
yep,
on his way towards a Hall of Fame career. So pretty good names in Astros history that Jose Altuve is chasing.
2-2 pitch to McCormick is up and in, and it's 3-2.
I think if Giolito does not get McCormick out, we might see La Russa go to the mound, bring in Berg, give the crowd an opportunity to give him a nice ovation. If he gets McCormick out, he'll get a chance to face Gurriel.
He struck him out. 8 strikeouts for Giolito. He's 1 out away from a complete game.
Looking for the local and get the express right down the middle. And he's just hoping Brian Knight will call that ball 4 instead of strike 3. But Lucas Giolito with another strikeout and down to the final out for the Astros.
There's Gurriel. Took the glove of Collins a little bit out of the zone. Brian Knight did not bite. 1-0 the count on Yuli. Good night Friday, 0 for 3 tonight.
Giolito's going, he called that for me all game. How do you not call it in the 9th inning?
Big cut, 1-1. One and 2. 1 strike away from going the distance. One, 2. Peel down to first. No swing, says Scott Berry. The White Sox have had a complete game this season from Dylan Cease, 1 from Lance Lynn, and of course the no-hitter from Carlos Rodon in April. A chance for Giolito to join that group in his first outing of the year against one of the league's top teams. 2-2 delivery on the way to Gurriel. Popped up. Garcia and Abreu over. Garcia's got it. And a sparkling, sterling gem of a performance in a complete game by Lucas Giolito against the league's #1 offense. A 10-1 statement win for Chicago.
What a great job by Lucas Giolito. Complete game. 3 hits, 1 run. And then the White Sox offense finally comes to life against the Houston Astros. puts up double digits, a bunch of home runs. Just a total team win here by the White Sox. And that man, Lucas Giolito, nice performance.
His 5th career complete game. He retires 27 of 30 batters he faces. Toro, the lone blemish with the solo home run. Brantley and Altuve provided the other 2 hits. Giolito is spectacular. The White Sox put up 5 home runs. And the White Sox get their first win of the season against the Astros with the finale and rubber game of this set coming tomorrow. And of course, the White Sox are little less than a month away from Tim Anderson. I really hope Tim Anderson pulls up in this in Dyersville at the Field of Dreams. August the 12th on Fox. Tim Anderson and the Sox against the New York Yankees in the Field of Dreams game in Dyersville. Coverage begins at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific on Fox. Can't wait for that. And Tim Anderson is playing very well right now. He extended his hit streak with 3 hits tonight, including a homer.
I'm very excited for the Field of Dreams. I actually get to go to that game.
You're going to be there for that.
So awesome. I can't wait to get lost in the corn maze and watch that game. But yeah, a nice, great job for Tony La Russa and the White Sox. Tim Anderson, another big game. He's been on fire. He's leading this team to the postseason. And Lucas Giolito just dominated tonight.
These 2 teams still at the top of their respective divisions. They'll play the finale tomorrow. Tonight, a 10-1 White Sox victory over the Astros. For A.J. Pierzinski and the wonderful women and men of our Fox Sports crew, Adam Amin saying good night from a city that's pretty dope, Chicago. KB and crew on the other side.